Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, Robert Meyer Burnett. I invite you to watch and listen to the Designing Hollywood podcast, brought to you by Martika Ibarra and the great, legendary Hollywood costume designer, Marilyn Vance. I am afforded the wonderful opportunity of co-hosting the show. If you are interested in the magic of Hollywood, the design of Hollywood, the clothes of Hollywood, watch the Designing Hollywood podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts from, or find the video version on YouTube. That's right, the Designing Hollywood podcast. Why would you ever want to miss it? Especially if you love the movies. Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Welcome to 2023. I'm, of course, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your Master of Fun and Wonder, your Viceroy of Verisimilitude, and whatever nicknames anybody wants to hang on me. And I'm sure there's many I don't know because people are too polite. And this, of course, is not my show. It's our show. It's your show. But it's also the show of the world's greatest German, your favorite German, my favorite German, for 2 years running. All because of COVID and rollerball. Please welcome Mr. Dieter Trash Panda Bastian, all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. Dieter,
Rob,
how are you?
Rob, I'm feeling excited to start a new show with you. Even if I enjoyed my free day off last Sunday, where I could watch a movie which comes with a longer running time. We will get to that a little bit later. Normally, I can only squeeze movie about 100 minutes in, but last Sunday I had a little bit more time. But first I say, greetings imagination connoisseurs, Dieter here I am, rock you like a hurricane again in 2023, and welcome to the B&B Motel for Let's Get Physical Media. And Rob, I haven't seen you in a long time, since last year. What you've been up to? I've seen you playing video games with a bad Canadian kid, getting in fights with Matt Chabo. You're busy bee again, Rob. Come on.
All I can say is I love living. I love being alive. All the wonderful adventures that life has for us. Physical media. By the end of this year, dude, things that I had ordered years ago, 4 years ago, the Batmobile. I got my Jazz Inc. Batmobile. The Starship, the Space Battleship Andromeda showed up. The 60 weeks of parts for this 4.5 foot long model, which I've started building, showed up. But you know, I think that the real question a lot of viewers that have watched this show for a long time might want to know, and I'm just going to alleviate any questions you might have. I know you're going to still ask about it. Let's just talk about it for a minute. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. By the way,
when did it arrive, Rob?
It didn't. Tell us the story. I dropped the green. I was so frustrated. I bought it from a third-party seller in the UK, and it showed up within days. And by the way, I mean, this has to go right next to my Studio Canal Flash Gordon because it's kind of got that same cover. I know this has come out from Lionsgate Domestic, but I wanted the box of swag. I mean, it's even got little pins. Like if I was in high school, I'd put them on my denim jacket that said there can be only one. So I'm glad to finally have this. I paid a little too much for it. This does not change the fact that I did get a refund from Amazon UK. But the package, where was it? Ascendia from Sweden. No joy from you guys, but where did not just my Highlanders, but my discreet charm of the bourgeoisie Louis Buñuel's movie in 4K, which I still have to reorder. But you know what? I know the viewers were worried. It's a terrible state of affairs that I did not have this disc. Unfortunately, I only have one, so the bad Canadian kid might not get one. He'd never play it anyway. He'd just give me shit about it. So listen, dude.
I hope you didn't paid too much overpriced, Rob. It was just in the realm of where I said
not too much. I was only like $10 over, which is pretty good. But listen, I wanted to announce something. We both talked about this.
Yeah,
we have a giveaway. We have obviously in 7 weeks from now, which I guess would be the beginning of March, maybe
around that time. Yeah, right.
We are giving away the 30th anniversary Sony Pictures Classics 4K box set. It's got everything from Voltaire to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon to Run Lola Run, Schenectady, New York, all kinds of things. It's the SLC Punk is in here. Yeah. This is a $300 set. We are giving it away on this channel to a lucky viewer. I even have a box. It'll get mailed right out, I promise. But now here's the thing. You, meaning you imagination connoisseurs, you watching the show, you have to write us a letter and send it to me, courtesy postgeeksingularity.com. Put in the subject heading, physical media giveaway. You have to write us a letter. Tell us, why is physical media important to you? Not necessarily why it's important in general, but why is it important to you? Why is it important for you to collect movies? And Dieter and I will decide which one of you is deserving enough through your elegant words. And if you use chat GPT or whatever, we'll know. We'll know if you had some algorithm write you some. I understand AI is going to take over, but we're going to know. And by the way, if you do use it and we don't know, well, we're idiots. But hey, I want that personal touch.
Yeah, exactly. And since it was on Jeff's best list, that is a nice giveaway to have.
Yes, so and I have to say,
with good ideas for the letters.
Shout out to Jeff from Films at Home. What a great guest he was. People really liked that show. You guys tuned in, and I bought something which I'll talk about later based on his recommendation. So, by the way, you know, we got a lot of, you know, Disney announcing a lot of releases this week. They're re-releasing stuff as part of their 100th anniversary. Warner Brothers has made a few announcements about 100. I mean, maybe they're going to ease back on bogarting MGM's great legacy. Probably not, though. But and Scream Factory came out guns blazing. Yeah. Vinegar Syndrome is releasing something I'm very excited about. Severin putting out a crime thriller box set we'll talk about later. We've got some great stuff, great announcements this week. Bam. Physical media is alive and well in 2023, Dieter.
Exactly. Rob, but at first, how do the box office went this weekend? How far are we away from the 2 billion?
Well, would you like...
And as far as I know, Rob, Megan costs around 12 million. Are we already in the green after the first weekend?
Looks that way, dude. Looks that way. Megan was a smash hit. Once again, low-budget horror for the win.
Yeah. Let's
hear it for Jason Blum. I mean, really, Jason Blum. You know, people like Roy Lee and Jason Blum have made sure that low-budget, theatrically released horror is alive and well, which is very exciting. So that's a good thing. Very cool. So here we are at the box office. Avatar: The Way of Water flies past $1.7 billion globally. Dude, Avatar is going to make $2 billion. It is now the 7th largest film of all time.
And I was surprised, Rob. It is, considering the international markets, I read something this week. Germany was at 4th place, strangely, considering the international markets.
People love the movie, and rightfully so. Hey, why not? It's an experience. Now, this is incredible. Megan, dude. Megan at the American domestic box office, $30.2 million.
Ooh. Just domestic.
Megan, can I learn how to dance like Megan? I want to dance like, I mean, let me tell you, that is a huge number for this movie. Yeah. The movie supposedly cost around $12 million or something. My God, $12 million before prints and advertising. Go Jason Blum. Go Jason. Getting these movies in the theater, this is good for exhibitors. It's good for studios. Why all the studios don't have Blumhouses, I don't know. By the way, Warner Brothers, I'm willing to start yours. I did make a movie for you, The Hills Run Red. We made it for $4 million. Give me a call, buddy. Give me a call. I got scripts. The Warner Brothers, one of the brothers, call me. So Avatar: The Way of Water crossed the $500 million mark yesterday in its 23rd day of release. That's faster than Rogue One: A Star Wars Story and the first Avatar and Top Gun: Maverick. It did $45 million this weekend, which is down only 33% from last weekend, with a running domestic total of $516.7 million. 1.7 billion global, brah. Never bet against Jimmy C.
Not bad.
Jimmy. Now I noticed. Shout out to Jimmy C. Strange Days. Strange Days is on HBO Max, but I believe it's the wrong aspect ratio because I think it's a 239 to 1 film, but they've got it at 185, whatever. Okay. But come on, Jimmy, use some of that cheddar and get the boys here.
The only thing, Rob, considering Lightstorm movies. Considering it is Super 35, it could actually be.
I know, but they would open up. It could be, it's open mat. You could be right. I might stand corrected, but it's true. It is open mat. But James can't because
it could be Rob. Just considering the other.
But
stuff
I think the original was 239 because they
exactly.
I believe
exactly.
so.
Right.
But you're right. You're right. But I don't want the open mat version.
No.
Although Ray Fiennes, Angela Bassett.
But it would at least mean. You don't lose any picture information, at least.
It's true. Okay, you got to correct me. It's fine. Right on my own show. It's okay, fine. You go ahead. You correct me. You go right on giving orders. No, it's okay. So let's see. What else are we at here? By the way, I just want to point out that on the John Campea show, he said Megan was going to do 19 million. I said it was going to do much more than that. And the reason that I said that is because the female audience turns out for horror. And I figured friends would go to this, mothers and daughters would go to Megan. According to polling, Megan pulled in 53% females, an overall audience of 56% over 25, 62% between 18 and 34, and horror always has a very diverse audience. 37% Caucasian, 28% Hispanic and Latino, 21% Black, and 7% Asian. The film played like an excellent PG-13 movie would, over-exceeding its competition, that being something like Escape Room. One day Robitel will come on the show. And while Escape Room finaled at 57 million domestic, the sense is that Megan has more legs in her. And this is interesting. The pick over-indexed in Hispanic and Latino markets like Texas, where horror plays well, i.e. in the Rio Grande Valley, El Paso, but also overperformed in markets such as Chicago, Detroit, Memphis, and Birmingham. And you can't, look, I've always said that there is one of the great theatrical experiences is to go see a horror film with a predominantly ethnic audience because they love them and the experience is great. And it's fantastic. It's, white people, we're boring. Sit in theaters. And it all comes back to church, man. You go to a Southern Baptist church, it's call and repeat, call and repeat, call and repeat. That's what it's like when you go see a horror film with a great audience. And I'm sure this movie has been playing well amongst everybody. And it's great to see ethnically diverse audiences and the female audience bringing in to see Megan. Because there's nothing better than to sit in a theater with a bunch of people you don't know from all kinds of diverse backgrounds, all of our political differences and ideology, and all stripped away. All of our differences are stripped away. And horror gets right to the core of what it means to be a human being. We are all equal when the lights come down and the terror begins. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Horror is a great equalizer, my friend. And to see quality horror films, and a thing, I haven't seen Megan yet, but people have told me it's got social satire in it. It talks about families. It talks about consumerism. So it's got a lot more going on. Chris Stuckman's, I would encourage everybody to watch Chris Stuckman's review of the film. He quite liked it. So I'm excited. Gotta go see it.
So it has probably good word of mouth going in.
Good word of mouth.
The second week.
And,
always important.
Always important. So it's good. Horror, man. I'm telling you. Avatar 2 made 45 million. Megan made 30.2. Puss in Boots made 13, up to 87 million. The new Tom Hanks film, which is a remake of a Swedish movie, I think.
Yeah.
A Man Called Otto made 4.2. Wakanda Forever is still making money. It only made 4 million, but its total is 445.4 million domestically in week 9. So go Wakanda Forever. Remember, Namor's a mutant. They're coming. You wait and see. The Whitney Houston movie, I Want to Dance with Somebody, has made 19.6 million. The Whale, in week 5 at small venues, 8.5 million. Babylon, poor Babylon, only 13.5 million. And Violent Night is just a couple thousand. Actually, it's at 49.4 million. So go David Harbour. Go Santa.
Yeah. I want the sequel, Rob. I want the sequel.
Yeah.
Have you seen Violent Night?
No.
No, okay. But I'm pretty sure you will have a good time too with Violent Night.
Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, I'm all good about that. So that's where we're at, Dietz. What
Nice.
to do now?
Okay. What do you do now? Let us live chat. Where do we start, Rob? Or what did I have seen over the last 3 weeks that I want?
Yeah, what'd you see? You see anything you wanna hip anybody to, or what?
The streaming stuff, Rob. The bad streaming stuff. Considering I couldn't mention those titles because we had the show with Jeff, I saw the Indonesian movie on Netflix, The Big Four, which I read somewhere was the most watched movie, not in English, with English original language. So it was a nice action adventure with some nice violence in it. So really good. Would not say no to a sequel. Then on Disney Plus, Rob, this movie that put me to sleep, Rob. I watched Strange World on Disney Plus. For me, forgettable, totally forgettable. I went to sleep watching Strange World. Then I know the critical drinker was really hard on it, but I quite enjoyed, of course, Glass Onion.
I did too.
On Netflix.
It was a lot of fun.
Had a great time with it. Totally loved the ensemble. Really looking forward for the next installment. Then we talked a little bit about everyone. It was hyped for the movie, but I watched it. Not that great on Netflix. Warriors of Future.
Yeah, I watched it too. I was a little.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of fun, but it suffered from. I have to say that stuff like The Wandering Earth and Warriors of the Future, these Chinese science fiction films, I would say are. I think the word muddled comes to mind.
Exactly.
There's a lot going on, and you watch it, but it's not really engrossing. It's got cool stuff.
The effects change from good to bad all over the place, you know. Then, Rob, often people ask me, Dieter, did you watch this German show or that German show? Normally I say, actually no. But I have a German show for Europe. I don't know if you have heard about it. The English title is Woman of the Dead, or in German it's called Totenfrau.
Wow, okay.
Woman of the Dead.
Totenfrau? What does Totenfrau mean?
She works in a funeral home, Rob. It's just 6 episodes. Her husband works for the police in an Austrian village, you know. It's actually German, but it's placed in Austria. Her husband gets into a hit and run and dies from that hit and run. But was it a hit and run, or was he actually murdered? And she works at a funeral home and she goes on the case herself, since the police won't do anything. So great. 6 episodes, Rob. And considering we all hate when Netflix cancels stuff, I have read this based on a book trilogy, but the case is closed with the first one. They could do a next season, but the case in this one is closed. You can totally watch it, even if it would get canceled. So that's always a good thing. So a slight recommendation for me, Rob. Woman of the Dead, just 6 episodes, 45 minutes, place in Austria, and considering German, really, really good, Rob, really good. Then one of the leftovers from last year that I didn't watch last year, which totally was rocking. I had great laughs with this, which was, of course, The Menu, which I totally dug. And I will, of course, buy the Blu-ray. I watched it on HBO Max.
Yeah, I did too. I watched it again. I really liked it. It's fun.
Totally. And
Ray Fiennes
I had great laughs with it. Totally great. Then, Rob, considering my VPN, I thought, I give Shudder a try, 7-day trial. Considering streaming, one negative that I didn't know, Rob, the Shudder streaming service doesn't give you 5.1 sound. You only get stereo with the movies. So that's a little bit
now,
of a downer.
I have to give a shout out to Netflix and Glass Onion. Glass Onion was one of the best looking movies I've ever streamed. It looked great. So I don't know if they're going to release a physical media copy of it, but it looked and sounded amazing. It didn't sound as well as it could, but as far as streaming is concerned, I do give a shout out to Netflix because, and
totally.
Ryan Johnson's cinematographer, he's the one bitching about 4K and it's a gimmick and all that. But I'll tell you something, I'm sure he knows his shit, and I'm sure he was really involved in making sure that Glass Onion looked the best it could look streaming, and it looks fantastic in 4K. I guess it was streaming at 4K. It must have been.
Totally, I would think so, Rob. So I gave Shudder a try, but I already pre-ordered this movie. It will come out on Blu-ray in Germany, I believe, in February or March. I don't know if you heard about it, Rob. Australian movie. It's called Sissy.
Oh,
and you heard about it?
Yeah.
Really nice one. This would make, for me, a great double features with bitches. I mean, bodies, considering social media and stuff. So I really quite enjoyed Sissy. So the pre-order will, of course, stay open. But I was a little bit let down that this was just stereo, considering the sound. But nevertheless, I think Shudder is one of the cheaper streaming services.
Yeah, and I really, they've been they had some layoffs, but I really like what they do. And Shudder makes sure that their movies come out on physical media.
Yeah, exactly.
So shout out to Shudder.
Yeah. The next one, I have to disagree with Rob a little. I watched the movie. The movie was good. And Rob said the movie flopped at the box office because of the bad marketing. But for me, I say, this is just a movie people don't go out to the theaters anymore. I watched She Said, and for me, a good movie, but this is totally a one-off. I watched it, was fine, but I will probably, Rob, never watch it again. This is a one-off just for streaming. I see why people don't flock to those movies
anymore. Yeah, but I think they could have done a better job marketing, considering Harvey Weinstein was literally getting prosecuted while that was going on.
Because I was thinking, Rob, what in this movie, considering a movie we'll get to when we get to the physical media stuff, actually, which would draw you in. The performances were nice, but there was not, for me, standout performance. There was not, from the cinematography, anything special, It was 185 to 1. So for me, this is a perfect movie for streaming. For a streaming service.
Well, it's funny. I think it should have gone, if there's a direct-to-streaming film, I agree with you, but it did come out theatrically, and if it's going to come out theatrically, give it a theatrical marketing campaign that sensationalize it, torn from the headlines. They just...
Yeah.
I mean, they did put it out theatrically, and it could have done better.
Yeah. And the last two, before we started the show this afternoon, I went on, paid a little bit for the streaming for Voodoo because the reviews were still coming in. Great. I watched Puss in Boots this afternoon. And considering how mediocre the Disney stuff is getting animation-wise and the movie-wise, Strange World was, of course, not bad from the animated stuff. But Puss in Boots really is great stuff. I will get, of course, the physical media release later at great time. Great innovative stuff, I have to say. I wasn't expecting that. Perhaps a lot of people wasn't expecting. Really great time, great laughs, really nice one. Puss in Boots was great. The next one, Rob, I didn't know if you heard about it. We all know I watch Korean movies, but with Korean TV shows, I'm always lacking. I watch Squid Game, but besides Squid Game, I have I don't think the only thing, the Kingdom series I watched on Netflix.
It's good.
This I stumbled across. It is on Hulu in the States, and here in international markets, it's on Disney Plus under the stars. Ben, I don't know if you heard about this, Rob. The series is called Connect.
Yes, that's directed by Takashi Miike, isn't it?
Exactly, Rob. And this is one point that I didn't know about the show, and I was surprised to see his name in the credits, and he did directed all 6 episodes, and it's really a weird show. I don't know if you know the synopsis of it.
Yeah,
he gets taken away. The organ gets pulled out.
The eye,
and then his body heals itself, but one eye does not. One eye is in another person, and they connect through the sharing of the eye. So it was really nice. But this series, Rob, has a cliffhanger, and I think that not a lot of people have watched this show, even if it's nice, weird. So I'm hoping we will get a second season, but I don't think many people have watched it. But it is worth a watch.
My friend Eliana Fu told me it was really good.
Yeah, and it is on Hulu in the States. Then, considering Murderville, I watched, of course, the Sender episode, and even if it's stupid, I did get some nice chuckles out of it. And then, Rob, something I watched on YouTube, actually, because it's still not available here on a streaming service, not able to buy, but someone probably legally uploaded it on YouTube. I watched finally the Dio documentary, Dreamers Never Die. So finally, at least I've seen it, Rob, but there were two parts of the documentary where there were no sounds, probably because of music rights. So there were perhaps 4 to 5 minutes without sound, but at least I have seen it. A lot of stuff that I didn't know about Dio's background. So for Dio fans, this is, of course, a must, and I will looking forward if it gets a physical media release at some point. So this was the stuff, Rob, that I watched. Like I said, recommendation: Connect, Puss in Boots was great, Sissy great. I will keep the pre-order open. If you get time, Rob, watch Woman of the Dead, or in Germany, Totenfrau. And the rest, Glass Onion was great, and Big Four recommendation 2. This was the stuff I have seen on stream.
Damn it, Spock sends in a super chat. He's been a member of the channel for 2 months. Damn it, Spock says, "Evening, Dieter and Rob. Have either of you seen the Norwegian film Troll on Netflix? I thought it was very entertaining. The VFX were very impressive. I loved it. A Norwegian kaiju movie. It was, it's funny. Who would have thought we would have been getting that troll movies would be a thing? Like, it's now a genre unto itself. Troll Hunter, Troll. Very different from Troll 2, which isn't even about trolls.
Do we know how it did on Netflix? Chance for
you know what? I don't know, because they don't release their numbers, but I hope it did well, because it's really good. I really liked it a lot. I thought it was neat. Well, why don't we show? I got a lot of stuff to show. First of all, of course, I want to give a shout out to my boy Matt over at Kino Lorber. He sent me the Outer Limits box sets, because I was trying to get the imprint ones from Australia. But he sent me these. These are great, by the way. It was great to go watch a lot of old Outer Limits episodes. I watched.
Is it the whole series, Rob?
It's a whole series. Both seasons of the series. There's a lot of extras. They look great. And I watched The Architects of Fear, which Alan Moore touched on when he wrote Watchmen with Elizabeth. Yeah. And she'd never seen Outer Limits. She'd never even heard of Outer Limits. So that was kind of fun. It's been fun. So shout out to Kino Lorber. And I want to say that Kino Lorber has announced they're putting out a movie I haven't seen. They're putting out this movie, No Man is an Island. And they're putting out No Man is an Island, and it stars Jeffrey Hunter, who played Captain Pike in the first pilot for Star Trek. So The Cage, that was kind of cool. So shout out to Kino Lorber. And they've been supplying me with 4K discs, and I've been very impressed. I finally got around to watching their 4K of Nobody's Fool that stars Paul Newman, which is directed by Robert Benton, and it's a movie I never saw. I quite enjoyed it. I think they're taking 4K transfers and putting them out when they can get them, but I really enjoyed that film. So shout out to you, Kino Lorber. And then I don't know if I showed this already. Did I already show this?
Yeah.
The Casablanca box set.
Yeah, it was in your favorites of the year. Rob.
Oh, it was, right. So anyway, I had that. I watched that. We had a movie night and watched it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I got a box from Imprint in Australia that I was waiting for. And I got movies like Ladies and Gentlemen, The Fabulous Stains, starring Diane Lane from 1982. I had to get Adrian Lyne's Lolita. And by the way, I love the fact that these come slip-cased with Anthony... Nice. With Jeremy Irons is in this. And then I got Kurosawa's Dersu Uzala, which I've owned this. I had a Japanese Laserdisc of this. Finally, now I have a Blu-ray of it. And it looks, I don't know how it looks because I haven't opened it. But I'm sure it looks better than a standard def. And, of course, Ken Russell's Whore with Teresa Russell.
Oh, nice.
Who is great. And then finally, and I didn't know this when I bought it, but I ordered Barbette Schroeder's Barfly. I really like this movie. I didn't realize it's a beautiful
I think you showed
cover.
it, Rob. Isn't it?
Yeah, did I show that already?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe I showed that on.
Nice.
So that was cool. So thank you. And then, of course, this finally came, War Games, which I love. One of John Badham's 2 1983 films, the other being Blue Thunder. By the way, where's the Blue Thunder 4K? I'd love to get that in 4K. And then, of course, House of the Dragon. I got the Steelbook, which, by the way, these look astonishing. The episodes that are dark.
Does it come, Rob, with the 4K and the Blu-ray, or just
no,
the 4K?
just the 4Ks.
Just the 4K.
And I think they're just the 4K. Well, maybe they are the Blu-rays. I don't know. I don't pay attention, but they look these episodes look stunning in 4K.
Just because, Rob, there are different sets. You can get a set that comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray, or just the 4Ks.
Yeah, I think I just got the 4Ks. Well, look. But there's like some of the scenes. There's that one really dark scene where Damon's walking on the beach, and these are just the 4Ks.
Okay.
But this is I really like this Steelbook. It's really cool.
Nice.
So that's some of what I got. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not bad.
First.
Not
bad.
Bad. So what about you?
What about me? Okay, the first one, Rob. Actually, we haven't talked about it, and I will have to watch it again. But for me, considering Moet and Benson, this was actually their worst one. Something in the Dirt.
Oh, I'm dying to see it. I haven't got that yet, and you.
Yeah, it's out in the UK, Rob.
Oh.
But for me, it was a little bit too convoluted. Just throw everything in it, and of course they use we shut it in COVID excuse to some degree. But I have to watch it again. I haven't made up my mind considering Something in the Dirt. But it is, even if I watch it again, my least favorite of them. The next one, Ken the Bag from Quentin Dupieux, who brought us to the Rubber movie. And Deerskin, which I haven't watched. Just called Incredible but True, a comedy. And like his other movies, it's really short, 73 minutes, but I haven't watched it. Comes from Arrow, but the covers are pretty identical this time. It has a poster in it, which is probably the cover motif again. I think so, yes. But it comes two-sided. And with a little booklet. I have no idea what it's actually about, but it should be a comedy. I hope so.
There you go.
So, as always, Arrow, little booklet, and a poster. Incredible, but true. So, just put it in here again. And of course, some leftovers from last year, which I held back a little bit. Shaolin Kung Fu, or the German title is Kung Fu 10 Fingers of Steel. little media book. But didn't get around to watch it. It's always nice to see the quality of those old movies, even if it isn't 4K, if it's just 2K restorations of those movies. So, first media book. Then this one I already showed, Cynthia and Michelle Yeoh in Ultra Force 2, the German title. But the original title is, of course, I did get the Eureka one, is Yes, Madam, because it comes with a lot of more bonus features, because this is just the media book, but the disc itself doesn't contain many bonus features. This comes with new bonus features, and it comes with a booklet. And the booklet actually contains, hope I can find it, contains the artwork for the German cover. So, yes, madam, I bought from Eureka, which comes with a irreversible cover, but actually, which the cover of the slipcase, it comes with a reversible cover, which I used, of course, on the Emery. So yes, madam. And the next one, I don't know, Rob. I think you haven't shown it. You didn't show it on our show, but I think I saw it on, I believe, Instagram. And this is one, I would say, considering our ratings here at our show, which of course is verisimilitude, authorship, then at the bottom would be gobbledygook, So I bought it too, Rob. Of course, I bought Tar with Kate Blanchett, and what a great movie, considering her performance. And this one, Rob, if we do a comparison to GZ, this has stuff in it where I said, yeah, that is a movie for the theaters, considering the sound with the orchestra.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't show. I was going to show that, but since you're showing it, I'll show it too. Yeah. This is my favorite movie of the year.
Oh,
my favorite movie of the year. I was knocked out by this. By the way, for you and your Oscar pools, Kate Blanchett is a lock for Best Actress.
Yeah, totally.
I love this movie. I love this movie so much. By the way, you know what else? I love these cases. All my 4K discs are going in these cases. And let's face it, all my good Blu-rays are going to go in them too. I love them. But I love this movie so much. It's so good.
Yeah. Verisimilitude. Or wouldn't you say, Rob?
Yes, peak verisimilitude. Peak verisimilitude.
The only question, Rob, why are there no bonus features on the disc for this movie?
Well, here's the thing. I think that the reason you have to pay money for that. You have to pay money for an EPK team. I mean, Todd Field. Some people don't want.
Yeah, but just an audio commentary,
I know.
Considering this kind of high prestige movie, a little bit lackluster for my perspective. Considering just 0 bonus features, The next one, I really was looking forward to this because I was a really big fan of the first season, and I'm really glad that the English label, I believe Dazzler is it, put it out. Gangs of London, the season 2, which is a little bit exactly, Rob. You know it
from Gareth, our boy Gareth, who made the Rad and the Rad 2 even radder.
Yeah, but he is actually, Rob, in this second season only credited executive producer and creator, but he didn't direct any of the episodes.
I know.
This is a little bit weaker for me than the season 1, but still good if you love bloody action. Of course, with a little bit CGI enhanced. Still a good show. 8 out of 10 for the second, but the first one is still a little bit more high peak for me. But I'm glad this came out because I had no chance, because I don't have Sky here to watch this on any streaming service. So glad that Tesla puts stuff like this out. And this is the company who will put out the Apple series, like C, For All Mankind, and Jennifer Aniston.
Where is For All Mankind? I've got it on order. Hello.
A little bit delayed,
Hello. I want it because who knows when it's going to come here.
But you don't have to be afraid, Rob, considering the quality that Tesla put out. There's not bonus features on it, but considering the megabytes per second, it's always about in the 35 realm. I just checked it at some point. You don't have to be afraid considering the picture quality.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't wait to get For All Mankind on disc.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch those episodes. I'm very excited.
And this one, just considering the streaming stuff I watched and what I watched too, I finally watched from 88 Films the 3 Tiger Cage movies. Had a great time, even if they dip a little bit in quality, not picture quality, but the quality of the movies, considering the first to the third. And they are actually, Rob, a franchise that has nothing to do one movie with the other. So they all call it Tiger Cage, but there's not a recurring character or a story that it's been evolved further. So they are totally separate movies. I watched the 3 Tiger Cage movies. Then, considering, Rob, people are always complaining, Avatar, it's Dances with Wolves, it's Pocahontas. I can say Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive. Well, it's a copy of course, Driver. I watched Driver. Really, really nice transfer of the movie.
Bro.
Oh, nice, Rob. Nice.
Getting this again, this looks great. The transfer is great. The 4K transfer. Peak 70s, man. This is some dope-ass shit. Happy to have it. And again, this is a UK release. Yeah. It's not. I'm sure someone will pick it up here, but I'll tell you, you Europeans, you guys are crushing it with the 4Ks. I mean, it's pretty great.
But isn't it announced in the US?
Maybe
4K 2, Rob? I think so.
Hopefully. I mean, everyone's getting it at some point.
Yeah. But just as I can say, Drive is a copy more or less of the Driver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then I watched, Rob, you will probably roll your nose a bit, but the reputation of the movie got a little bit uptick considering the second bad remake of Black Christmas from the 2019. So I watched the 2006 one again, which came from Nameless with the 3 edits of the movie, R-rated, unrated, and the European version. And the European version is actually the shortest one, but considering the gore, it has, I think, a little bit more. Still have a soft spot for the movie, and it was nice that Chris Duckman said it doesn't deserve the 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's actually a little soft spot for the 2006 remake, and since the 2019 was so bad, it got a little bit better reputation now. Rob, did you get around to watch on Shudder perhaps Christmas Bloody Christmas?
I have not. I apologize. I did not watch that. You know what I did watch though? I gotta give a shout out to Jeff from Films at Home who joined us in the last episode. This went under my radar, but because of his recommendation, I bought it. This could very well be the bargain of the year. The 101 Films release of the British TV show Ghost Watch. Yeah,
this disc. Get around that too.
I had a British DVD of this, and I'm like, should I buy this? This is an incredible. First of all, the movie's great. It's an incredible set. If you don't know about it, even better. Go in and watch it cold. This has so much interesting stuff in it. It's chock-a-block full of swag, but it's got really interesting booklet on the production of this thing, and it was $20. And I mean, this package is easily a $40 package. And and what do we care if it's 20 or 40? But the fact that it's $20, I want to point this out. Get this on Amazon. If you're a horror fan and you're interested in how things get made, this is an incredible package from 101 Films. And I'm sorry I passed it up, and I want to thank Jeff for bringing this to my attention. Everybody go subscribe to Films at Home, or it's films_at_home on Twitter. Go find him. Tell him he's a genius. Tell him without his recommendation, I would not have picked this up. So, Jeff, here's to you, buddy. This is a fantastic release from 101 Films. Fantastic.
So already a Schnäppchen, Rob, for the $20.
It is a total Schnäppchen, but that was retail. And exactly. And it's a shout out, this is why these boutique companies, when you see this, because this is a pretty famous thing in England. Outside of England, no one knows what this is. So, but they did a fantastic job. Shout out to you guys, 101. I mean, everyone's killing it. All these boutique companies are killing it. And if the studios are not going to release movies anymore, give them to companies like 101 who are going to give us this. By the way, Kino Lorber, nice. I know it's too late, but I would have produced your Stone Cold special features for very, very, very little money. Just so you know, I would have done it. I mean, that's what I think I want to do in 2023. I'm working on a documentary project right now that has to deal with physical media, but I'd love to get back in the game. The last thing I produced, and it was nominated for a Rondo Award, was The Hills Run Red. So, hey, nice. Dave Parker and I did that. Boy, I'd love to do more special features because 101 Films, thumbs up from me, buddy.
Nice. So where do we go, Rob? Should we do the live chat quick?
Yeah, live chat. I do want to give a shout out to our friend David Kokel.
Oh,
David
nice.
Kokel. David Kokel sent me a gift for Christmas.
Okay.
I'd just like to Very much appreciate. David Kolko says, "Hi Rob, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. What is up with modern Star Trek? Watch Picard season 3, David.
Don't push buttons, David. Don't push.
Thank you for the inspiration and entertainment in 2022. Please enjoy this coffee mug bearing my drawing of my friend Kat posing with her collection." And, I have no problem with hot girls with their hot collections of figures. So this is a piece of artwork that David Kolko... Oh, I shouldn't put my fingers there. That's very embarrassing. I don't want to be a rapey guy and even a coffee cup. That's bad. So here is the artwork he did. So, David, thank you so much for the thoughtful gift. I could have a whole China set soon with your cups. Very much appreciated. So thank you for that. And thanks for sending it to me. I very much appreciate that. I love getting things that people make. It's cool. So thank you, David.
Since we are talking about David, he did send me a letter, Rob. He did send me a letter. So we chime in with letters at first, I would say. Dear Rob and Dieter, Happy New Year. As usual, I have been enjoying your show and wish to gentle take Rob to task in a playful way over comments he made on a recent episode when naming his top physical media picks. Rob, my respect for you could fill a galaxy, but I find something a little distressing. You seem to be making apologies for choosing Casablanca as one of your top physical media picks of the year. You even cited an obvious special effects model of a plane coming in to land in an apologetic way. Your opinion is your opinion, of course, but please do not feel obligated to make excuses for admiring an obvious cinematic classic. Maybe the fact that it's not a genre piece inspired this, I don't know. My advice would be to own your opinion and hold your head up high. I'm a fan of many unfashionable old things, and I make no excuses for that. One property I love is the original Twilight Zone, and it doesn't matter that some of the space opera episodes feature a needle-shaped rocket ship with a little flame pushing it along, or the fact that they reuse the model from Forbidden Planet on multiple occasions. What matters to me is the script, the acting, the directing, the editing, etc. And to be honest, that little model rocket ship actually fires my imagination more than today's CGI. The old effects have a charming handmade quality that is really appealing. CGI is valuable during the pandemic because it has not been touched by human hands, so no germs can be spread by it. I'm serious about this, but hopefully you can also see the humor of. No matter what else you do, keep up the good work, and on behalf of fans and creative people everywhere. And Dieter, keep doing what you're doing. As an essential part of this duo, the importance of your role can never be underestimated. Regards, David Kogan. Rob, I don't remember you did
well, here's the thing.
As a pick?
No, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I wasn't dissing on, obviously, Casablanca is one of my favorite releases of the year. What I meant is that, a lot of people would expect, these, incredible transfers like Dune or something. And by making Casablanca one of my picks of the year, I love old films. The Twilight Zone is one of my favorite things. I was just saying that I love classic cinema, and that's why I put it on Casablanca on my list. But when I was pointing out, I'm just in 4K, things like model work becomes more readily apparent, and a lot of people complain about that stuff. So I was just trying to say, I certainly don't. That was just how technology was in the 40s when the movie was made. But it was the thing about Casablanca is that, and the reason it was one of my picks of the year is that Warner Brothers did an incredible job restoring the film. They went back and they cleaned up the sound. It's an incredible restoration. And so, Casablanca is one of my favorite movies of all time. So, sometimes it's tongue in cheek, and because there's a lot of people that, well, it's clearly a model. Like, well, yeah, none of this stuff. X-wing fighters are models too. It's
yeah.
but I appreciate you writing in, David, and that it's tongue in cheek. I take it under the spirit that it's meant. So, yes.
Nice. Okay. Should I dive into more letters, Rob? Because we have a little bit stacked up.
Yeah, we're stacked up with letters. We have some good ones too.
Okay. From Midnight Runner, he says, "Hi, Rob and Dieter. Love your show. Best there is. My question today is how you're dealing with lost special features when upgrading to 4K. to you, do you keep the Blu-ray DVD in case? Recent example is Reservoir Dogs. I ordered a 4K limited set from Playon, which was formerly known Koch Films, with all the great swag, and found out, thanks to a review I read, that I have to keep my Blu-ray, although the upgrade to 4K, because otherwise I'd lose the only audio commentary ever recorded from Quentin for one of his movies. The 4K doesn't include it. Another example is Bad Boys. After I upgraded to 4K, I dumped my DVD collector's edition, only to later find out the 4K had no special features at all. Seems it's worth checking out before dumping old discs. Greeting and keep up your great work from Midnight Runner. Yeah, it's always said if we don't get even the old special features. So luckily, considering Usual Suspects, Rob is happy.
Well, I have to say, I mean, I think that's a real problem. The problem is, though, when you're putting out a disc in 4K, and I haven't worked directly with a major motion picture studio in a long time, but you have to either figure out a way to put the special features on a disc or include a Blu-ray that has the special features. I mean, shout out to Kino Lorber, not to keep harping on Kino Lorber, but when they put out Usual Suspects, they made sure the film got a new transfer that was overseen by Tom Siegel, and then they took our special features that were done in standard def, because back in 2002, when the disc came out, our special features that I produced were only in standard def, and they had never appeared on any of the subsequent Blu-ray releases of the film. But Kino Lorber they up-res them and put them on the disc. And yeah, it's a big problem. Look at Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, if I'm a little biased, but I wasn't the only one that worked on them. We had a huge team at Curdy Pellerin that worked on those special features, and I think generally the Lord of the Rings special features are considered still the benchmark. They're the best special features ever done. They do not come with the 4K discs. And the thinking at Warner Brothers was, well, people have bought these already, and so why put them out? And I mean, we spent a team of 30 people spent a year on those special features, traveling back and forth to New Zealand, spending hundreds of hours interviewing everybody, and it's really unfortunate that we didn't get a definitive box set with 4K versions and the special features. So the short answer is yes. You should always look. For me, Dieter, I think you and we want the best version of the movie. The thing that's first and foremost is the film. So if there's a movie that comes out that I want in 4K, those Quentin Tarantino releases, both Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, are astonishing. The movies have never looked better, and I'm first and foremost interested in the films. However, there are special features that have never been ported over. I mean, a lot of them find their way, like my Usual Suspect special features, people, like some dude in France put them up on YouTube. And that's cool. So you can see them. My Making of Tron documentary is on, the feature-length documentary is on YouTube, even though it was on the Blu-ray, but it's not on Disney Plus, which is unfortunate because I worked really hard on that. And it was nominated for Best Documentary of the Year. But the movie is the most important thing. But yes, I have multiple copies of other films on various formats, DVD, even Laserdisc, just to keep the commentaries. There's some, John Sturgis did the commentary for Bad Day at Black Rock. Shout out to Mary Forrest for giving me that Laserdisc, and that commentary is amazing. And the only place, I don't know if it's ever been re-released on any other format, but it's on that Criterion Laserdisc. And hey, you got to keep that shit, man. So be careful. Always look if you want those special features. But still, I'm not going to, if they don't have special features on the disc, I'll always buy the 4K if the transfer is great, especially if it's a photochemically realized film. And if they do a great transfer in 4K, those are my favorite discs to get.
Wasn't there a special making of on the Basic Instinct Laserdisc, Rob?
Yep, that's never appeared anywhere else. It's like an hour long. And, know, I don't even know if my Laserdisc player works. I got to fire that goodness up and transfer that and put it on. It's basically bare bones interviews with Michael Douglas, Sharon Stone, and Paul Verhoeven intercut, but it's an hour long and it's never appeared anywhere. Yeah. Now, I have heard, Basic Instinct was one of my most eagerly awaited physical media discs. the 4K transfer. It's teal and orange. It was done by Studio Canal. Bad Studio Canal. Why did you do that? You know, the Die Hard 4K disc is so great. It really showcases Jan de Bont cinematography. And I've heard that Lionsgate, that it might, Kino Lorber might put out Basic Instinct in 4K. And I hope they do a new transfer. God bless Kino Lorber for getting us some really interesting 4K discs. They got a great lineup coming out this year, so kudos to them. Anyway, yeah, all good.
Nice. Okay. The next letter comes from our prolific letter writer Vincent from France. Hi Rob, guten Tag Dieter. Congratulations on the 90th episode, on the 90 episodes, and looking forward to the 100. How much does it cost to have an efficient home cinema room like John Cambia's one? Although I suggest adding physical media player, or Rob's one. Do you install yours yourself, or were you helped by a company? Thanks. So from my perspective, Vincent, I did it myself, but my setup is not that complicated, and I think it's always good to make it yourself, to know where the ins and outs are, considering the setups. And just the configuration itself, it just make it's fun to do it yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
Rob, your setup, considering how much does it cost? He says.
Well, it's interesting. Heaven
is the the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit.
Yeah, I mean, it also, you have to. It's really a function of the size of your room. So you have to design a sound system. So, for instance, I am capable of having an 11.22 system, meaning I can have Dolby Atmos and dual subs if I want to. I'm currently running a 7.1 system, where I've got 2 Atmos speakers, a 14-inch sub, rear surrounds. Now, I can add 2 more surround channels, but the problem is, in the room that I'm in, I tried it with, it gets too muddy. So the way I've designed my room, because it's a small room, but it's a dedicated room, I bought, and I have to say, it's got great reviews. I looked into this. I bought a Klipsch system. Nice. I think I want to say it cost $3,500. So it was the 14-inch sub tower speakers that have Atmos on the top that fire out that are actually surprisingly effective, and rear surround speakers and a beautiful center channel. It's those speakers. If you're going to invest in home theater, and then I'm running currently a 65-inch OLED system and a TV, an OLED LG, but I do want to get. You know, they got that 93-inch TV that's like $20,000, so I would say that my home theater system, and then I've got a dedicated Sony multi-region player that now is I have it dedicated to multi-region. I have a Panasonic $500 dedicated player, but I want to get. There's a Panasonic multi-region player that's like $1,500, and then there's a dedicated. I would say that my system probably costs $7,500 total. Because the amplifier, I have a Pioneer Elite amplifier that I think was, I want to say $2,500, $3,500. No, it's probably more than that. I don't know, but probably $8,500, I think. But that's if you buy those things. I mean, my dedicated Sony player is from 2018. And stuff like that. But I put it all together myself. What's interesting is the Pioneer, the Elite amplifier. Some amplifiers, the Elite amplifier comes with a microphone, and you place the microphone, and it measures the room, so it fires white noise through the speakers. So you have the microphone and you put it where, like I have it a little off center on the couch in our room where I usually sit. So it's literally designed. The sound field is designed where I sit a little bit off center for the best sound, because I'm off, and I think I want to put another subwoofer in, but I think it would be ridiculous. The subwoofer is incredible, but I did it all myself, and it's better that you do it yourself, because then you understand. It forces you to really read the manuals and dig deep into all of your, especially with audio. With these amplifiers, they can do so many different things, and you want to make sure that it's perfectly balanced. And I've had people come in the room and they're like, oh my God. The thing about John's TV, he has a short throw projector, which looks pretty good. But again, he doesn't know the difference between, like, with motion smoothing and putting it on so it's playing at 24p or whatever, and that's fine. But his system could look a lot better, and he's got a Sonos system in there, and it's wireless. And look, wireless is not nearly as good as having, 4-foot tall clipped speakers that are hardwired into your amplifier. I mean, you literally, the entire house shakes if I turn up. If you watch the Battle of Germania at the beginning of Gladiator, I mean, I've always used that as a demo because you can hear catapults firing from the back going to the front speakers. I mean, I've been in some great home theaters. Literally, Bryan Singer's home theater is the best home theater I've ever been in. It's gigantic. I think there's like 36 speakers or something in it. It's incredible, but it costs $1 million. His projector was $500,000. So,
yeah.
But for my room, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I would just suggest buy from the same company a complete speaker set, considering this around. Don't mix and match from different companies, because just of the harmony that comes with a set from the same company. And I know most comes with a microphone that do the setup for yourself, but actually I use a decibel meter and calibrate the stuff myself, because the LFA is always tricky, even with the automated programs to get right. The LFA is mostly
you're talking about the subwoofer.
Yeah, exactly.
And I agree, because it doesn't adjust the subwoofer speakers, for you.
Yeah, the other speakers is always nicely done from the automated sound programs in the receiver, but the LFA is really tricky, and I use more decibel meter.
I completely agree. For me, I just earballed it, but because people have a tendency to you don't want the bass to overpower the system, and that took a long time.
It has to be the sweet spot, Rob. The sweet spot.
It took a long time. It probably took me 20 different tries. It's trying it. I mean, I spent hours playing with the bass with multiple
totally, Rob. And we have our demo disc that we always put out the same stuff, that we know how it should sound, how we want it to sound. We always use the same. I love to use Superman Returns, the stuff when you saves the shuttle. Always a great thing to use, just to see how it all plays out. Even the Hunger Games, Rob, I use.
Of course you do.
See how the score floods the room with the first one.
You know what I really like to use is Blade Runner.
Yeah.
The opening of Blade Runner with those, it blows people away, because Blade Runner they used a special, I forget what it was called, they had a special bass response.
Okay.
Warner Brothers released the film with this special, when I saw it back in June of '82, opening, I saw it the first show at noon at our Cinerama Theater in Seattle. But the bass response in that film, even though it's a 40-year-old movie, is incredible. Also, Apocalypse Now, the opening with the helicopters, it's really quiet. That go, across your speakers is another great thing. I like using music movies or that they're very helpful to balance. So I go between music discs and movie discs.
Yeah. Because the bass response is a little bit different considering music and
I do think
movie.
The great Dune has one of the great. I thought Blade Runner 2049 had the greatest sound mix I'd ever heard. Yeah. Dune. I don't know if I ever get to direct another movie. I'm gonna call Denis Villeneuve. I want to talk to all of his sound guys, because the sound mixing in that film is incredible. When the percussion hits over the legendary logo of Dune. It sounds like they're in the room playing with you. It's incredible.
Nice. And I loved how Tar sounded when the orchestra played.
Unbelievable.
And And I have to say, Rob, considering Tar, from my perspective, speaking a little bit of German, Kate Blanchett did really a fine job considering her speaking the German wording was really nicely done too. I really had a feeling she knows what she's talking about, Rob. Not just phonetically saying the lines. So Rob, we have some super chats. Perhaps we should.
We do. We have some super chats. We have a lot. Let me let's jump in and do them. Thomas Logan said, Darren Aronofsky announced he's been working on an 8K IMAX presentation of his first feature, Pi, for its 25th anniversary on March 14th. The inevitable Pi 4K is now my most anticipated release of 2023. What are yours, Rob and Dietz? I did not know Darren Aronofsky was doing that. Pi is one of my... Pi, I still have the DVD. I really like Pi. An IMAX release, that's crazy. I'll go see that. I think, right now, this is a good time to mention that the great Owen Roizman, one of the great cinematographers of the 70s especially, he shot The Exorcist. And The Exorcist is one of my not just favorite horror films, but favorite movies. And we are getting it from Warner Brothers for their 100th anniversary. That's easily one of my most eagerly awaited 4K discs of the year. So I can't wait to get Exorcist. It's a grail disc for me, so to get that, both versions of it. I mean, I prefer the theatrical version, but it'll be great to get that.
But it comes with both versions.
Yeah.
It will come with both? Okay,
yeah.
Nice.
And Kino Lorber, To Live and Die in L.A., give it to me. Give it to me. I want it.
At some point, Rob. At some point.
And look,
Rob. This disc will come out when you did get your French version. With the book. You're happy. Then it will come out in 4K.
I need that French version. By the way, I got to tell you. So one of my new favorite things on my phone. So I'm building this giant 4.5-foot model of the space battleship Andromeda from Space Battleship Yamato, aka Star Blazers. It's all in Japanese. So the Google Translate app, for anybody who's used this, it uses the camera in your phone, and you pass it over the text, and it just transforms the text into English. It is so you can now read anything in any language instantaneously. I just put the camera up. I'm looking at the instructions going, because there's lots of electronics in this model. It'd be a pain in the ass. So there's Japanese models I've been fearful to build. Like, can I get somebody Japanese to No longer. I mean, it is incredible. You just put your phone up there and go, ba-bing, and it literally takes Japanese text and turns it into English, which means now I can read all my German. Well, the media books in German doesn't matter. You can just sit there and go and read the foreign language. It's the greatest thing ever. I welcome our AI overlords. Thank you very much. Yeah. It's amazing. So what about you? Do you have a special disc that you're most waiting for in 4K?
There were some nice actually announcement, Rob. Let me just see. But you will probably get to it a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that. If you don't have one off the top of your head, hang on, hold on.
Yeah.
Because
there were definitely nice ones.
Yeah. Darth Plagueis says, Kino Lorber, please get the rights to Aliens, make a stellar Dolby Atmos track, and put it out in 4K with Dolby Vision. I think we're going to see Aliens this year from Fox.
Oh, nice.
I think we're going to see it. And by the way, that movie's a little grainy, but I'd love to get that in 4K. Look, I think
the Kodak stock was not the best at that.
No, but I love it. I think we're going to see that. Roberto Suarez, our own Roberto Suarez, he of the great show Que Pasa PGS. He asks, have you ordered A24's deluxe 4K release of The Green Knight? No, I didn't even know that was there. Like they did with Midsommar.
Me neither.
Or Midsummer. I got to go get that. I love The Green Knight. Connor Stevens says, I decided to go with the standard 4K release of House of the Dragon because the discs are stacked on top of each other in the steelbook. It's true. I was afraid of disc scratching. Well, you just have to be careful. I don't like when they do that either, but you're right. You just got to be careful. Andy Beglin, Stairwell
Andy.
Sessions says, Happy New Year, Rob and Dieter. I love 2001 A Space Odyssey. Is 2010 A Space Odyssey any good? Oh, 2010 is not 2001. However, I think it's a great space adventure. It's a really good movie. I'd love to see the 4K version of it. And as everyone knows, if I was given unlimited funds, I would actually remake 2010 and make it more like the book. But I really get 2010. It is on Blu-ray. You can find it. Hopefully, look, Warner Brothers, because you own MGM movies, I want Brainstorm. I want 2010. I want Robert Zemeckis' Contact, Altered fucking States. Somebody give me an Altered States Blu-ray. Come on, bring it on. I mean, 4K, bring it on. I want Altered States in 4K. Get on this, Warner Brothers. David C. says, greetings. Yeah. Have either of you ever heard of Radiance Films? The creator used to work at Arrow, and I treated myself to their year bundle. Happy collecting. I have heard of Radiance. I've never bought anything. Were they? Yeah. So it was Arrow.
Yeah, a new company.
They're new. That's. I mean, and look, I thought they were also from Indicator. I thought it was an offshoot of Indicator. Maybe it's Arrow. I could be wrong, but yeah, I mean, look, Indicator is a company that they were doing Columbia titles, and they do a great job. Indicator does a great job. Arrow, all that stuff. It's amazing. They're good. So, yeah, I have not bought anything from Radiance. Have you? Have you bought anything from Radiance?
No. At that point, not.
Yeah, I haven't
But
either.
Depends on what they are putting out.
Yeah, absolutely. Digital Ronin says, Rob, I just scored a rare DVD release of Space Runaway Idion and Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I have an awesome die-cast Space Runaway Idion, part of the Solar Chigokin run. I do not have that and Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Well, Legend of the Galactic Heroes is my favorite anime of all time. I did drop.
Didn't you show the special?
Yes, I did.
The silver box.
It's right up there. It's the most expensive physical media I've ever bought. It was $800 on Blu-ray. It came out from God, what's the name of the company? I'm drawing a blank on it, but it's a Japanese anime company here in America. Sentai Films. Okay. They put it out. It's great. The box set is incredible. Danzig 1979 asks, thoughts on the Evil Dead Rise trailer. What'd you think, buddy?
Once again, Rob, I don't watch trailers from movies I will watch anyway. I stay away from trailers.
All right.
I haven't seen it, Rob, and I won't watch it.
I'm a huge.
I will watch the movie.
I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. Of course, I have a.
So get me hyped, Rob. Get me hyped, even if I haven't seen it.
I worked on Army of Darkness. I have a screen credit in the end credits. I think I'm a makeup effects PA or something. I'm a huge fan of the franchise, dude.
Me too.
That trailer fucking rocks. Evil Dead Rise. Now, Dead Rise was made.
That's enough for me to hear, Rob.
It was going to be made. It was made for streaming, and it's one of two Warner Brothers movies. The first was Blue Beetle. And the second was Evil Dead Rise that were going to go to screen. They were going to go streaming, but they had such.
Wait, Rob. Help me. Evil Dead Rise is from Warner, not Sony.
I'm not sure. It might be Sony. I thought it was Warner. It could be Sony. I could be wrong about that. But Blue Beetle. I mean, I meant Blue Beetle is Warner Brothers.
Totally.
They showed both of these films were shown to test audiences, and they scored so high that they decided to take them theatrical.
Nice.
Which I think is amazing. This Evil Dead Rise looks amazing. Fede Alvarez is,
when does it come out, Rob? In April.
Yeah.
And when is the CinemaCon? Perhaps you can
CinemaCon's in April as well. No, I think CinemaCon's at the end of April.
Oh,
but Fede Alvarez, who did the remake, he did Don't Breathe. He did the remake of Evil Dead, which I thought was
great,
pretty good. It looks ferocious, like that email. Awesome. And he's doing the new Alien film.
Ooh, didn't know.
Yeah, they're making a new Alien movie. It's not Noah Hawley's show. It's Fede Alvarez is doing he's doing a new Alien film. He pitched his idea. I guess they bought the pitch in the room. So that's pretty cool. So I thought it was great. I love the Evil Dead Rise.
You're right, Rob. Lord Toss says Evil Dead Rise is a Warner Brothers picture.
Yeah, okay.
But wasn't the remake at Sony?
Yeah, it might very well have been.
Okay.
But yeah, so that makes sense. So I'm right. So Warner Brothers, it's right. They were going to go to streaming, but they had such that response. Dude, that trailer for Evil Dead Rise, oh my God. And it harks back to the first Evil Dead, which I loved, which came out in 1981. Yeah. I have a Japanese Laserdisc of Evil Dead that Sam Raimi signed for me on the Warner Brothers lot when I met Sam. Somehow Sam Raimi was either dating Lisa Henson. He knew Lisa Henson. Mm-hmm. I was on the back lot at Warner Brothers because I worked there for 2 years. And I met him getting an ice cream cone. And he brought me on to the set of Darkman, the musical scoring stage of Darkman. And then I brought my Japanese Laserdisc of Evil Dead, and he signed it Beast Witches, Sam Raimi. Set of best wishes. Great. So there you go. Name dropping. That was like back in 1989. So there you go. I've been in this business for a long time. The Jughead 1 says, Happy New Year, Rob and Dieter. Belatedly, love and respect from the UK, guys. Well, thank you, the Jughead. Look, if all goes well, I'm going to be coming to Europe in the summer. I'm coming to see you, Dietz. We're going to go on a road trip. You got to take a vacation. We're going to drive around. We're going to go party with the lovely Emma Bannon. We're going to go up to Norway. We're going to go see Terje in Norway. And can't you rent a car?
Bring your Kurt Russell coat, Rob.
Oh, I'll bring my Kurt Russell. We're gonna broadcast. I'll probably crowdfund the whole trip, and we'll go meet people all throughout Europe. We're gonna go see Martino Simoni and drive his cars. He'll take us to the dam that GoldenEye was shot at. It's gonna be great, dude. We're gonna have. I'm telling you,
we'll not do bungee jumping there, Rob.
Well, if they'll let us, we'll be like those dudes in Australia that throw stuff off dams, on YouTube and let them go. Anyway. So we're coming, Jughead. 200 Watt Studio says, Rob, I ripped a bunch of my Criterion out-of-print commentaries, and I have them if you want them. I'd love to get the commentaries that they had to pull off of From Russia with Love and Goldfinger. Those would be great.
Because of rights, Rob? Or why?
No, because they said questionable things. It was the content. Ooh. Yeah, somebody said, oops. Ooh. Questionable things.
But isn't at the start of every Blu-ray, considering audio commentaries, it's not affiliated with the company?
I know, but apparently people said bad things about like Albert Broccoli or something. I don't know. Digital Ronin goes on to say, I also acquired Space Battleship Yamato on physical, on top of Space Runaway Idiot and Legends of the Galactic Heroes. It was a good week. That is a good week. I have all the Blu-rays. I've got Space Battleship Yamato 2199, 2202, and then the Space Arc movie from the first season, but I don't have 2205 yet, which I need to get. I'm sure those will come out here. 200 Watt Studio says, the day... the 200 Watt Studio does not share my love of To Live and Die in LA. Does not. So 200 Watt Studio,
once again,
the studio says the day that To Live and Die in LA comes out on 4K is the day physical media dies. I'm going to ban you from the channel. No. You're wrong. I don't understand. How can you not love To Live and Die in LA? Who doesn't love To Live and Die in LA? Apparently, 200 Watt Studio doesn't love To Live and Die in LA.
Some tastes are questionable.
Yeah, Science Beat says, I would love a great sound system for my TV, but I would have too many complaints from my neighbors, so I invested in great headphones. Understandable. Contact in 4K. Yeah, I want Contact in 4K. I love Contact.
Totally.
It has great sound too. I love Contact.
Exactly.
Always
was a nice demo sequence back in the DVD days when she goes through the wormhole.
Yep. And I've got the Blu-ray too, but I'd love it on 4K. 200 Watt Studio says, I have the 3-band Bond Laserdisc commentaries. Oh, I'd love to get those.
Yeah.
Those are great. So send them on. Justin Toner sends in a tip. Hello, Justin. Thank you for that. I forgot about this. Happy New Year, guys. I ordered From Beyond, the 4K from Vinegar Syndrome, along with Rothrock's Sworn to Justice. I also ordered Casablanca and Reservoir Dogs 4K from Amazon, and today I got Highlander 4K, Best Buy Steelbook, and Starship Troopers 4K Steelbook. Justin, you're going to love those. Those are great purchases. Yeah. Well done. So, that's amazing. So that we're caught up with Super Chats and tips. Anybody can still fire those in if you want. And Pedro wants to know if I'll come visit him. Dude, if we come to the UK, we're going to have like a meetup. I want to get you drunk. I want to see you drink like 10 pints of your favorite hooch. What is Pedro like? Sloppy drunk. We'll go to some dive bar in Soho. It'll be great. Party in London.
Nice.
So
lights out in London.
That's right.
So then we switch back to letters. Are we caught up with the Super Chats?
Yes, we're caught up with Super Chats.
Okay. Back to the letters. Brian Knight sends in his favorite topic, still there. Ilsa She-Wolf. Okay. Robert, somewhat at Phantom Entertainment must watch your Let's Get Physical Media show when you discussed Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS. They used an Ilsa reference in an outtake when they reviewed Andor on this week's Honest Trailer. You are an influence. I think could probably.
Well, to be fair,
be right.
I can't have been. I mean, I can't have been the only person. By the way, shout out to Roberto Suarez for making an awesome Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS inspired Andor poster. It's fantastic. Nice. He did a great job. Great job.
Awesome. The next one comes from Jared Snyder, and he writes, Dear Rob and Dieter, aka Batman and Robin, I have a question, but I wanted to preface my question with a story. I grew up in a small town. One of my older brother's classmates was Michael Sopkiff. After graduating high school, they separated ways and lost touch. My brother became a scholar of medieval Italian literature. So late one night, sitting in his apartment in Milan, he turned on his television and behold, there was an Italian action movie starring Michael Sopkiff. Turns out he built a career in Italy starring in classics like Blast Fighter, After the Fall of New York, Monster Shark, Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. Back in the day, there used to be expat actors who migrated to countries where they carved out career playing a foreigner in locally produced films. For example, American actor Nick Adams, who starred in Monster Zero.
Godzilla versus Monster Zero, Godzilla versus the Astro Monster.
Who starred in Monster Zero, or German actor Eric Braeden, who seems to have played every TV show Nazi on American TV in the 1960s, but also starred in Colossus, the Forbin Project. So, Dieter and Rob, do you have any favorite expat actors? Warm regards, Jared Snyder. Rob, do you know any actor who did?
Well, wasn't like Tisa Farrow and Lucio Fulci's Zombie? You know, there's a lot of that. Like, you know, Barbara Steele starring in Mario Bava's movies and stuff like that. Yeah. But a favorite expat. You know what comes to mind? Shane Rimmer. Shane Rimmer was in a lot of Jerry Anderson stuff. He was like the sub captain in Spy Who Loved Me. He moved to England. Shane Rimmer was the first person that came to mind when you asked me that question.
For me, just how I understand the question, considering Clint Eastwood, you know, go to Italy, you know, make Western in Italy, you know.
Well, Clint Eastwood, yeah.
Or for my take, you know, my Cynthia Rothrock, you know, goes to Hong Kong, makes Hong Kong action movies, doesn't speak the language, you know, that's really something, and wasn't even an actress, you know.
Irene, by the way, can I just say Irene?
Yeah.
Irene Jobson.
Oh,
yes.
In the chat, yeah.
Shane Rimmer, but I do appreciate the comment because, you know, it's always a good thing when you know, but you Irene.
Ha.
It's pretty funny.
Okay, so the next one comes from Let me just see. No, I got two from him, but this is a different one. Okay. Next one comes from Kenny Crayley Jr. He writes, "Hello, Rob and Dieter. Hello, guys. Loving the show as always. I've been a physical media collector for a while now, but I must admit, when I upgraded to 4K UHD Blu-ray disc and a new 4K Ultra HD TV, currently I have a Vizio 50-inch V series. At first, it was hard to get adjusted to UHD. For years, I thought Blu-ray disc was the dominant format, but when 4K UHD came along, things did change, and I think what made it work for me as a format was Dolby Vision and HDR10. Also, the fact that UHD is more film-like than the Blu-ray format. Sure, some 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray discs are better than others, but the format keeps getting better and better with more titles coming out. So I will ask you guys, what made you decide on the 4K Ultra HD format, and what has made you stay with it? Thanks and take care. Take care, guys. Sincerely, longtime watcher and listener and physical media collector, Kenny Crayley Jr., who comes to us from Ohio. Rob, what made you switch to 4K?
Well, I mean, I think that, first of all, 4K literally has more pixels. It has more resolution. And I think that when you see a 4K image, a lot of the time people say, oh, the human eye basically sees in 4K. And when you're watching, on high caliber screens, it looks incredible. It looks amazing. And a lot of the time now, to be honest, to be fair, a great Blu-ray upscaled is hard to tell the difference, usually, sometimes, between 4K, but still, the 4K discs and the sound, too, is incredible. And getting a Dolby Atmos disc in 4K is amazing.
And we believe, Rob, it is the final medium that we will get. I will hopefully not any more double dipping.
No, I mean, I honestly believe that there will never be another physical media format, because you'd have to go back and then retransfer all these negatives. And here's the thing. Now, a lot of people, we have a letter I think you're going to read,
okay,
where somebody asks about 4K. It was one of the letters that came in today.
Okay.
If you could read that letter.
Yeah. I will get to them, Rob. I have the two that you did send me and another one.
Oh, because that letter asks about 4K specifically.
Okay. Let me just see. They're both mentioning 4K. We will get to them.
Yeah, we'll get to. Well, yeah, I'll hold off on them, but that's why, because it's the best. It's the best.
Yeah. Or let me just read the second one from Kenny, because there are two. Perhaps it's
No, this wasn't from Kenny Crayley. This was somebody you talked about.
Then it was from Dave Campbell.
Yeah, about 2001.
Yes, that is wrong. The letter came to us from Dave Campbell, and he wrote to us, "Dear Rob, first off, I'd like to thank you, Dieter, and Chef for the over the holidays 4K reviews. It was fun and educational, and hence I'd like to learn more about 4K. I'm a pseudo-cinephile and only wish to upgrade my must-haves to 4K PS5 console." He probably uses. The consensus of your guys' opinion is that streaming is not good. It's not good though. I have in the past bought a lot on iTunes 4K, which is supposed to be better than most other streaming services. Can you comment this, please? To continue upon that, as mentioned, I'm a recent neophyte to 4K, with my first purchase after a lot of research was 2001, A Space Odyssey. The 4K disc blew my mind and is now my benchmark. I expected all 4K to be that amazing. Please curb my enthusiasm if need be. Also, can you please give a 4K 101 on how to buy 4K discs? Different companies, what to look for, and are there differences between box sets other than swag? It seems to me that there are numerous companies that produce 4K, niche or boutique companies, and what a layman should be aware of. Finally, I'm ashamed of you all. Your 2023 shows a new 4K should be Conan the Barbarian with a drunk Arnold commentary in Dolby Atmos.
Look, there's Sven. It's the greatest
See
commentary
them,
ever.
see them driven before you and hear the limitations of the women. Enough said. Thanks and continue the good work, Dave. Please forgive me any spelling and grammar errors. It's late. No need to explain further. So Robbie did mention how we choose our 4Ks.
Here's the thing. The great thing about 4Ks now, first of all, they remaster movies. And the remastering technology is better than it's ever been. And if you go back and you look at previous, like Die Hard is a perfect example of a film that I don't think they ever got right. Because of the filtering and because of the color in Die Hard, it was very difficult to make that movie look great. It always kind of was smeary. It was not crisp. Jan de Bont's photography is very difficult to get right. In my estimation, they never got it right for home entertainment until the 4K disc. It looks incredible. Now, here's the thing. They went back. That's a film that was photochemically made. It was shot on film. Those are my favorite 4Ks. Now, when they do something like Dune, obviously Dune looks incredible because it was, it's modern. But a lot of the time, what we're seeing on 4K with like the Marvel movies are finished in 2K because the effects are 2K. And then we're getting an up-res. And that's fine. I mean, it still looks good. But what I love for 4K is when they go back to actual film elements, retransfer the film elements, because we're getting the best, hopefully, the best representation of what the negative looks like when they do it properly. I mean, and hopefully a colorist or people are involved that are trying to make it look like when it was shot. What did the filmmakers intend? With like Basic Instinct, the colorist, people made a decision to push it into the teal and orange realm, and that was a stylistic decision that's fairly modern that didn't take into account. My whole thing is it has to look as close to the filmmaker's intent as possible. And what we want, that's why 2001, they had extensive notes about how 2001, all the Kubrick films look incredible. Because of Kubrick's assistant, you can see a movie called Film Worker that's all about him. He had extensive notes when they were doing home video transfers. I can't wait to see a 4K version of Barry Lyndon. But that's what 4K to me represents, the pinnacle of home entertainment, the pinnacle of getting the best transfers possible when they're done properly. For instance, when Second Sight did Robert Eggers' The Witch, Robert Eggers hated the way The Witch ended up looking on home entertainment because he wasn't involved with the transfer. Then he got to go back in and supervise that new transfer that Second Sight put out. By the way, I cannot recommend the Second Sight box set of The Witch highly enough. So what we're getting is the best representation on home entertainment of Robert Eggers' The Witch. And that's true of a lot of 4K titles. Now, people complain that, say, a movie from the 70s like Kino Lorber's Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 does not look like Denis Villeneuve's Dune on 4K, which is true. The film stocks of the 70s they were not as crisp as, say, a digitally shot film. But hopefully the 4K is the best representation. I mean, I love grungy New York movies of the 70s, and I really loved that 4K of Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 that Kino Lorber put out because it had a very filmic quality. You could see the grain structure and all that. And so often we get versions of movies like Patton or The Predator from Fox where they scrubbed out the grain. And by scrubbing out the grain, what they're really doing is blurring the sharpness of the image because that's how they get rid of grain. DNR is really, and that's why people's faces look so waxy, because all the details, when you go up to a higher resolution, you see people's pores, you see their imperfections, you see the moles on Robert Shaw's face more, which I think is great because that's what Robert Shaw looks like. So what you want is to find the best representation of how the movie was originally intended to be seen by the filmmakers. That's what I look for. And not all 4K transfers are great. If you're buying 2K bump ups or something, so it's important to go read the digital bits. Go read Bill Hunt's things and go read other sites, whether it's Blu-ray.com or wherever you're going to go look, and get educated and find out the films that you should buy on 4K, because not all 4Ks are made equal.
Yeah. And considering us two, Dave, perhaps you actually asking the wrong persons, because we already pre-order stuff and don't wait how the review will turn out for the titles.
Well, there's that.
We are the least one to ask which 4K to get.
Well, yeah, because we want
like
it.
Rob said, just you can inform yourself on the websites if it's worth your money to purchase this movie on.
Yeah, I mean,
like
sometimes
Rob said, the older ones are specifically more enticing than the new ones. And especially, Rob, when the digital age came at the beginning, the quality was really lacking for my taste, considering how the movies look. It took some time, considering how the digital movies look. Finally, they got it. But at the beginning, it was really a little bit of a mixed bag, considering the 2000s when they started with the digital.
No, 100%, because they didn't know, and like that's why it's frustrating when something like I bought the Steelbook and I bought the box set of Basic Instinct, and when I put the movie on, I mean, it is the best version of the film that has existed on home video, because that movie always looked like shit. But when then you get it, it looks, the resolution's there, but the color timing is wrong. It's like, I don't know what numbnuts, I'm sorry, no offense, whoever did this over in France, but you're a fucking idiot. You take a movie that its color palette was intrinsic to the characters and what was going on in the movie, and when you push it over into that teal and orange realm, you're destroying what the filmmakers intended. I mean, the whole idea is like, Catherine Trammell wields an ice pick. She's an ice cold femme fatale, and the film reflects that. And when you push it into the teal and orange realm, you're destroying, well, the mise en scène.
So the next one is actually a little bit funny, Rob, because I didn't read that letter, but it contained a topic that you actually brought up in our last show, and even you didn't read that letter because it was sent to me directly from Pedro Ferrero, and he wrote to us, Rob, and he was, I think, in the members chat yesterday, and he says...
He's in the
Rob
chat now.
Yeah, I see him. I hope you're both having a happy Christmas and wishing you a happy New Year. Of course, he did send it back before the last show. I'm currently having one of my rough patches with depression, so been feeling down with my life these past few days. I hope it's the short story competition I can make some kind of progress this 2023. Now, here's a fun question to make us forget all that. If Disney begin licensing out their catalog to other labels for physical media distribution, one set of films that deserve an HD box set is the Dexter's Riley trilogy, starring a young Kurt Russell. And you mentioned that in the last...
I did. The computer wore tennis shoes, the strongest man in the world, yeah.
I'm actually least familiar with the first movie, but the third movie, The Strongest Man in the World, is one I remember watching growing up and really enjoying it for its comedy. I had no idea the Dexter Riley trilogy is part of a cinematic universe, along with the Shaggy Dog and Flubber. Any thoughts, Rob and Dieter, on Disney's silly but underrated comedy trilogy starring Russell and Joe Flynn? Kind regards from Pedro. Rob?
I'm a huge fan. I love
the Dexter Riley.
I love the Dexter Riley movies, and I hope Disney's going to aggressively release a lot of stuff for their 100th anniversary. I'd love a Dexter Riley box set. Somebody's got to go in and interview Kurt Russell now, and make that happen. I think that would be I think that'd be amazing. They totally should do that.
Yeah, would be a nice special feature.
Yeah,
to the release. Okay, one last letter. From Kenny Grayley Jr. is back again, and he wrote to us, and he says, "Hello, Rob and Dieter. Hello, guys. Loving the show as always. 2023, a lot to look forward to with physical media and Blu-ray disc and 4K, the 100th anniversary of both Warner Brothers and Disney, and the many titles from the other studios like Universal Home Entertainment, Warner Home Video, Warner Archive, and the specialty labels like Arrow Video and Kino Lorber. I'm most looking forward to the Superman 5 film collection and the Rocky films on 4K Ultra HD coming out in 2023. Those should be great transfers, especially getting a newer transfer of Superman the movie theatrical cut. The first release on 4K UHD was alright, but this new one, based on rumors and speculations we have heard from Cape Wanda and Jim Bowers, plus Bill Hunt from the Digital Bits, should be better than the 2018 version, since they are scanning all 4 theatrical cuts of Superman 1 to 4, plus the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2. Said that Superman Returns won't be in the box set, but that is a discussion for another time. Anyways, take care, Rob and Dieter, and have a good 2023 collecting media, physical media. Sincerely, longtime watcher and listener and physical media collector Kenny Crayley from Ohio. So let's hope that Superman will look better. But Rob, actually, I'm a little hesitant, considering Superman always looked a little bit soft, the original.
Yeah, I mean, the way it was shot. Yeah,
exactly.
Jeffrey Unsworth's photography.
I would be surprised if it really gets a huge uptick.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because both, all those movies, again, the effects, the way they were done, the rear screen, the Zoptic process, Zoran Prisic or whatever his name is, who did those flying effects. Hopefully they're better. I mean, I'm sad that Superman Returns is not coming out. I mean, I understand why. Obviously, Brian, the director, and my good buddy, and Kevin Spacey have had their own travails that I think Warner Brothers wants to downplay during their 100th anniversary, so it's not going to be in the box set. And there's also, if you're doing a definitive Superman box set, does that mean you also put the Zack Snyder trilogy in? Do you put Man of Steel? And I think doing Superman, it's the Christopher Reeve box set. Exactly. And I totally understand that. I know that they were looking into trying to find all of the deleted stuff and do a director's cut or a long version of Superman 4, but it just doesn't exist. They can't find the negative, unfortunately. But look, I hope it's great. Again, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and see what people say about this box set before I just drop the green.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So, Rob, do we still have titles to show? I have some titles to show.
I have some titles to show, too. We got a few more super chats.
Yeah. Then let's do the super chats first.
200 Watt Studio says he'll DM me the commentaries. Thank you. I'll take that. Tangerine Star 26 says there are no dive bars left in Soho these days, sadly. See you there. Yes, I hear it's pretty upscale. We'll go. Haunted Autumn, who's a PGS hero, has been a member for a month, says, will you yell at clouds for me? God damn it, classic Star Trek needs to be brought back! I jest. Love to you, Dieter, and the PGS community. I hope the new year brings you all joy. Well, thank you.
Hope so, too.
200 Watt Studio says, great minds think alike. Basic Instinct color change irks me because Jan de Bont specifically gave the film an ice-cold color grade that fit with an ice-cold ice pick killer. Well, yeah, but the interiors are also, like when they go to the murder scene, there's a lot of warm colors in there that are really cool, too. Our friend the Jughead says, 1 of 3. If you do end up in London this summer, Rob, we will meet up, bro. I have friended you, is that a word? Laugh out loud, on Twitter under my old moniker, the Jughead76. Just tweet me and we will meet up over a burger and a lovely bag of fish and chips. I love fish and chips. Take care, Rob and Dieter. Well, I tell you, if this whole thing works out, I'll be promoting it because the whole thing will be to have meetups and like stream live. I'll bring my laptop wherever we can stream from. I'll bring one of my face cams and I'll bring the microphone and we'll have a great old time. It'll be fun. Nice. Right, Dieter? It'll be fun. Say yes. Yeah, there you go. We'll
road tripping.
Road trip.
Road tripping, not over the telephone.
That's right. We should get it sponsored by one of your car companies. They'll go get that sponsorship. So yes, go ahead. What do you got? I got stuff still to show.
Who starts, Rob?
Go ahead.
The last
go ahead.
Okay. A cat in the back, Rob. Perhaps you know it from the company Visual Vengeance, Rob. Heartland of Darkness.
I don't know that Heartland of Darkness.
I don't know that movie either, Rob. It says here, new director supervised from original tape and film elements. I haven't delved into it, but it looked nice. It comes with reversible cover artwork. Let's see. There's even stuff in it too, like poster and is that a booklet? No, this is a poster, and I have no idea. This looks like a cloth, player cloth here.
Wow.
So let me just see. Here we have, here's the booklet in it. Perhaps a little bit of the history of the movie. And it comes with different cover artwork. So it has actually 3 different cover artworks, considering the O-ring is different. And then we have here a little poster to it. Heartland of Darkness, but didn't get around to it yet. So hopefully at some point I will. The next one, we all know Jenny Ortega had a great year this year. Scream 5. She was in Studio 666, a little role in X, and of course in a big breakout in Wednesday. And she did this movie, which I did wait a little bit, that it became a little bit cheaper, but I haven't delved into it. American Carnage. She's got a smaller role in it, and luckily it's got some special features to it: audio commentary, behind the scenes, and deleted scenes. So it's not a bare bones movie. American Carnage. And even if I said I don't watch trailers like Evil Dead Rises trailers, but it's nice to see trailers for movies I don't know what it's all about. And the next one, I saw a trailer, I don't know on which discs, and that one looked interesting to me. So I bought John and the Hole. So it is shot in 4:3, actually, and it's about a boy who's, well, how can I describe him? It says on the back, I quote, "Unsettling journey into the darkness of adolescence." So John and the Hole. But I have to watch it again. I haven't quite, just with Something in the Dirt, I haven't quite made up my mind with this one.
All right.
But it's in 4:3. John, no, I saw the trailer and I thought, this looks interesting. The next one, unfortunately, no special features. Slashback. Bloody fun time. A little bit of a body invasion, alien stuff. Attack on the Block, but at a very different location with girls. Nice characters. It just did miss a little bit of a great action ending, where it went to go balls to the wall. So that was a little bit missing, but the characters were great and the location is great. So just like I would say Prey, you don't have any green screen. It's just a nice location at the Arctic Circle where the sun always shines. So really nicely done. A little movie, but it couldn't reach the great heights that it could have if we've gotten a little bit more of the juicy stuff. So Slashback, but nevertheless, considering the location, really nice one. The next one, I don't know if I would call it perfect. It plays around the Christmas time, but I wouldn't consider it a Christmas movie. From UK, from Arrow, it's called The Leech. It's about a priest who takes, I would say, a homeless person into his home. And if it was the right decision, I don't know. It comes, of course, with special features from Arrow and a poster, The Leech, and probably played at some festivals. And I don't know which other movie the director did, but something made me buy this movie. I don't know what it was, but something made me buy
some strange compulsion.
Yeah. And it's not bad. The Leech. And since I started a little bit with martial arts, I ended it with a media book for In the Line of Duty 4, which is, of course, directed by Yuen Wo Ping, one of his early outings with Cynthia Khan and Donnie Yen. So this is the media book, and 88 Films will put out all 4 in the Line of Duty movies in that nice box set in America. So
That's
in
cool.
the Line of Duty 4, great one, great action as always. You know what you are getting.
Yeah.
What you're getting. With the Hong Kong stuff from the 80s. This was my last one.
Well, I got a few more to show. What did
Yeah.
I get? I don't know if I can't remember if I showed these or not, but along with the driver, I got, I mean, this is pretty cool to have.
Yeah.
The Orson Welles movie, The Trial, in 4K.
No, I don't think you
with Anthony
show that,
Hopkins. Franz Kafka's
Okay.
The Trial. I had to get that. Again, another European, a UK release that I was surprised had to have that. Got that, picked that up. A French movie, a relationship movie that I don't know anything about, but again, Studio Canal. Simone Signoret is in this. Casque d'Or, which is about a love triangle. Again, I've never seen this movie. I read about it. It sounded interesting. I was totally unfamiliar with it. But again, 4K film. Had to pick that up. You know, thank you, Studio Canal, for putting this out in 4K. I just put this in and looked at it. It's stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Nice.
You know, I was reluctant to buy this.
And it's the first time buy, Rob. You know, that's the best. No double dipping.
No double dipping. Then, of course, I had to pick up Smile because, you know, low budget horror, see where it's at. I mean, I like this movie. Picked it up, you know. Why not? Why not support? And then
there's some special features on it.
It does. And then I got this 4K Steelbook because it's awesome, and I love this movie based on Neil Gaiman. Coraline. This is great Steelbook. It's very
Which
cool.
was actually, Rob, a nice 3D movie too.
It was. I know, and I don't have the 3D disc, but I did get this 4K. And
nice.
that, and then my own. Even though we're giving one away, I did finally get this. And it was a Schnäppchen. I got it for $130, $132 is $300. So I got that.
And it was on Jeff's best list.
Yes, and there's so many great things in this. I mean, so many great 4Ks. And you know, again, Sony, they put out the three box sets. Columbia did, but then these, you know, to get stuff like Run Lola Run in 4K, Call Me by Your Name. I already had Crouching Tiger. The Devil's Backbone. Guillermo del Toro's The Devil's Backbone.
And they are not available individually, Rob.
No, well, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was.
Yeah, you're right.
And then, you know, Orlando, another movie I really liked. But it's great to have this box set to go along with the others. I mean, and support classic cinema. A lot of these might not get single 4K releases. Yeah. I don't, because I think, like, has The Social Network been released in 4K as an individual disc?
I don't think so, Rob.
I don't think so, but it's in the Columbia box set. So
and this is really a nice collection, considering the movies that are in the box. Very, very different genres.
Yeah, so that catches me up. Although I have to give a shout out. I don't know if I gave a shout out. Chris Carr for Christmas gave me this Logan's Run Steelbook. And it's kind of got like a retro 50s. Come visit the Dome City. Now, she didn't know if it was 4K or not. I don't have this Steelbook, and I love Logan's Run.
Is it some of the Mondo Steelbooks?
You know, I don't know what these are. They might be Mondo. I think that they're, I don't know, but it looked, whatever it is, she gave this to me for Christmas. I was very excited to get it. So shout out to you, Chris Carr, my coworker. I had given her the Bell 4K box set earlier in the year, and so shout out to her. Now we got news, dude. There's a lot of news. Yeah. Do you want to hear some news?
Yeah, give it to me, bro. What is coming out?
All right, what is coming out? Just announced.
Does our show have a future?
From our friend, it does. Our friends at Scream Factory are living large. I mean, we're getting Exorcist 3 Collector's Edition. I love this movie. I don't know if on this disc, I didn't really look at the specs. Are they including their version of Legion? I don't know if they're doing that, but I love this movie. It's one of my favorites. You know, it's not as great as The Exorcist, and they had to tack on the exorcism at the end. It's based on William Peter Blatty wrote and directed this. It's based on his book Legion. I love this movie. It has still the greatest jump scare ever, but it's been on YouTube so much that taken out of context, it's sort of diminished its power. But I love this movie. Exorcist 3 is coming out. Another title I'm very excited to get in 4K. Walter Hill's 1984 rock and roll fairy tale, Streets of Fire. Tonight is what it means to be young in 4K. I love this movie. Can't wait to get it. Good for us. Now, this isn't in 4K, but it's coming out on Blu-ray again. Maybe not again, but I don't have it, so I'm going to buy it now. Russell Mulcahy, director of Highlander, his first feature, Razorback, about, well, wild boars in the Australian outback, because, that sounds enticing. But it actually is. I like this movie. It's pretty great. And here's a unique Universal title. I guess Universal doesn't want to release their back catalog. We're getting Wanted in 4K. Now, this bears little resemblance to the comic, but I like it. I like this movie. It's got a great...
From Shout.
It comes out from Shout. Now, I don't know why that they're releasing... Universal doesn't want to release their catalog titles. I'm like, all right, well, I like Wanted a lot. It has a great Danny Elfman score, and it has a theme song that he wrote that's very Oingo Boingo-esque called The Little Things. And even though this movie's goofy, I really like. It was directed by, I can't even pronounce his name, the Russian director who had made Night Watch and Day Watch or whatever, which I'm very excited for. And so that's pretty cool. And now, so yay us. Now Warner Brothers. Look at that with that 100th anniversary logo. They're releasing Training Day in 4K. Get that up in there. My man. Cool cover. Do I love Anton Fuqua's Training Day? Yes. Yes, I do. First day purchase for me. I love this movie. Of course, Denzel won an Oscar for his performance in this film, which is pretty rad. Warner Brothers is also releasing the Rocky Knockout Collection in 4K, but it's only Rocky 2, Rocky 3, and then Rocky 4, both versions. I don't know why Rocky 5, which no one likes, but why isn't it in there? Neither is Rocky Balboa, because I guess different studios or whatever, but hey, you're getting these 4 movies. They were going to be released by another company, but Warner Brothers picked up the slack and is putting them out. So, hey, that's a good one to get. I'll get these.
From a different company?
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's MGM, and if they have licensed it to somebody else, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what the rights are like. And now
But Rocky 4 comes with both cuts.
Yeah, Rocky 4 comes with both cuts. Severin putting out this Violent Streets, the Umberto Lenzi Tomas Milian collection. Man, do I want to get this. Free hand for a tough cop. I think there's 7 discs in this, including a soundtrack. Violent Streets, come on. Umberto Lenzi, Italian crime films, sex, violence. What's not to love? Plus, look at this box set. Who doesn't want this? Switchblades on the cover. I mean, there you go. I mean, To Live and Die in Italy. Who doesn't want that? I know that we all want that, don't we? Of course we do. Of course we do. Now, on to Vinegar Syndrome. Vinegar Syndrome putting out Kurkuro, a Beast of the Amazon from the 50s, I think 56. I used to love this movie. Have to get it. It's 50s. I don't know why they're putting it out. I'm going to buy it anyway. But perhaps my favorite of Vinegar Syndrome's has announced they're releasing The Beast in Space. Now, for those of you who don't know, the great 70s exploitation movie The Beast, about a woman who starts getting it on with a creature with a giant phallus. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it, why haven't you? I think I have a 3-disc. It's either a DVD or Blu-ray. I mean, it's a crazy movie. This film, Beast in Space, is like one of these Italian pseudo sequels. Now, let me just read to you. I've never seen this movie. I've only heard about it. But Vinegar Syndrome is putting it out. Let me read to you the synopsis of this movie. And you tell me if this isn't a first day buy for you. So here you go. In the distant future, Captain Larry Madison, the most heroic leader of the space fleet, has been sent on a mission to Lorigon, a far-off planet known to be the galaxy's greatest resource of Anatalium, a precious metal needed to create weaponry. However, when they reach the planet, they discover that it's overseen by a powerful computer which is capable of forcing all of those near it to engage in mindless debauchery. Determined to overcome its effects, Madison and his crew wade through jungles and valleys in search of Antitalium. But why does Lieutenant Sandra Richardson keep having strange sexual nightmares involving a well-endowed beast? An unfiltered product of everything which makes Italian sexploitation cinema legendary, this in-name-only sequel to the notorious erotic fantasy The Beast. The Beast in Space is a wild take on late 70s sci-fi enhanced with bizarre, peplum-esque plot twists and shocking hardcore sex, and starring Serpa Lane, the Beast, Nazi Love Camp 27, Lucio Rosato, the Barbarians, and the future queen of 80s Italian smut, Marina Hedman, who starred in Satan's Baby Doll. Long overdue for Blu-ray, Peakorama has painstakingly restored the film from its never-before-scanned 16mm original negative and invites you to buckle up and blast off to the stars. And this is region-free. Now, Dieter, if this doesn't sound like a must-buy late 70s Italian sci-fi smut, my God.
Sounds like a Paradise Planet to me.
You know I love my Euro softcore bush porn. I love it. And this sci-fi bush porn,
and combine it with space, Rob.
Wow, space and I have to say, I will put this in the live chat. There is a trailer for this movie.
Okay.
And
nice.
The trailer is a must-watch, and I'm going to throw it in the live chat because let me tell you, people, when you watch this trailer, you just listen to the synth score. I'm telling you, you people are going to freak out. You're going to want this. So here's the trailer. It's in the live chat for The Beast in Space. And Irene Jobson.
Is it a trailer for the release, Rob, or just a normal trailer?
It's a trailer for the release. I want Irene Jobson to watch this. As a matter of fact, I want to watch this movie with Irene Jobson because I think that would be fun. So, Irene, I don't know where you live, but I mean, I love my softcore Euro bush porn. It's the best. We don't have that in California anymore.
Vinegar Syndrome has you covered, Rob.
Vinegar Syndrome has us covered. So, thank God. There you go. The Beast in Space, must buy. Thank you, Vinegar Syndrome. I will place my order for From Beyond and The Beast in Space at the same time. So there you go.
Rob, help me out. Was From Beyond, did it ever got a release on Blu-ray, From Beyond?
I think it did. I want to say it did. But Vinegar Syndrome restoring it. It was shot on film. It was Empire Pictures. It was before Charlie Band started Full Moon. And it has the lovely Barbara Crampton. Maybe we'll have her come on this show. I've interviewed her before on this channel to talk about it. I mean, Barbara Crampton, man, what a hottie. She's still a hottie. She's in her 60s, and she's as hot as she ever was. But, wearing Ken Foray from Dawn of the Dead, Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton. Come on. Now it's time to find out what are our sales figures going into the new year, ending December 31st. Look at that. Halloween Ends. Dude, I don't know. But Terrifier 2. So here we go. These are the top Blu-ray sellers. These are Blu-ray sellers. Halloween Ends, Top Gun Maverick, Terrifier 2, House of the Dragon, the complete first season, The Woman King, Lyle, Crocodile, Jurassic World Dominion, Thor, Love and Thunder, The Batman, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, Halloween Ends, I don't know, man. What a disappointment. I don't know. Now, these are the top media sellers. These are the overall best sellers, and you can see next to them what the percentage of Blu-rays are. So Top Gun Maverick is number one, 62% sold and that's 62% is Blu-ray, but that means there's a lot for DVD and 4K. Halloween Ends, again, 66%. Terrifier 2, 70%. House of the Dragon, the complete first season, 56%. And The Woman King, 49%. Now we've got, once again, there's more Blu-ray 3Ds on this list than has been before. Polar Express, I mean, think about it. Of all the unit sales, almost 7% people are buying Polar Express. I guess, is there an uptick in 3D TVs? I don't think so. Dune 3D, which I don't own, I should own, but I don't own it. Top Gun 3D, Wizard of Oz 3D, and Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. Now look at this. Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. Does this mean 0.01%? Does this mean one person bought it this week? Like one person on the planet Earth bought Dr. Seuss's The Grinch? That I hope it was a Schnäppchen. I mean, maybe it might have been. I don't know. Top 5 4K UHD Blu-ray sellers: Coraline 4K, The Batman 4K, Thor: Love and Thunder, Dune, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Respectable numbers for the 4K. So, hey, physical media is still alive and well.
Nice to see Coraline at the top.
Wow, suddenly, you know what I've done? Nice. You've fallen out of sync. Hang on, let me try and put you again. Let me try and put you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you're back in sync.
Test 1 2.
You're in sync again. You're back again.
Okay.
So that's all the news that's fit to print. Oh, by the way, there's one more. I think Shout Factory is putting out Sorry, Wrong Number. I've always liked this movie. Barbara Stanwyck and Burt Lancaster is also coming out. Heiress to millions who bought everything she wanted, including this man. Come on, what's not to love? And that's cool for Shout Factory to put that out,
Yeah.
But that's all the stuff, there's not a lot of news this week, but that's it. That's all the news that's fit to print, Deets. That's where we're at.
Yeah. So last drop, we have still the live chat to go through from
all right.
2 weeks ago. And even if our show was very long, don't worry. The live chat was not that many because a lot of people chimed in if we did pick the right or the wrong ones. Okay,
wait, before you do this.
Yeah.
200 Watt Studio.
Yeah. What did he did know?
200 Watt Studio says space smut is the best smut. Talk about a Milky Way. Dude, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. Victor Fontaine wants to know if we're gonna. Are you gonna order the Zavvi exclusive limited edition 4K Steelbook box set of Training Day? Yes, I did not know that Zavvi was doing that.
I haven't either.
I still have to figure out how I'm gonna get the exclusive Zavvi Zodiac director's cut. But yeah, I didn't know that. I gotta order that. I'm in. I'm down. I want it. Irene Jobson is a dirty, dirty girl. She says, I bet it's creamy. Come on, man. Between rimming and being creamy, she's my kind of girl. That's all I can say. I feel bad because I have started this. I've started this, and we've turned this show into a smut-filled, I don't know. It's good. It's good.
Demonetized, Rob. Demonetized.
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 We need so much for advertising on this channel.
Okay. So, previously on Let's Get Physical Media, Iron Wolf said, archive your favorite films, own them. Nothing more to add to that. Siggy, I collect the movies I love from childhood memories to amazing visual feast 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. Altmetall, I stopped buying newer average movies and nearly no blind buys anymore. I use streaming for those movies. Well, Altmetall, I should make that my New Year's resolution. First, check some titles, perhaps, before I put down the dough for those movies. Homo erectus, they need to bring back 3D TVs. I'm there with you. But like I said, they don't have to put 3D in every television set. It's just one in every line. I didn't know why it was just eradicated, because it works. So why just not implement it in at least one of your TV line? Tim Hens, have been collecting physical media since 2000. It's important to keep the medium alive. Mr. Potter's Piggy Bank just spent $200 on 4K Blu-rays this holiday season. Had some friends over and put on the Batman in 4K. They couldn't believe the detail of the film. It was a completely new experience. Nice to hear that. The third eye said, Rob, I would never watch Martyrs again. Come on, the third eye. Martyrs. Classic. Always nice to rewatch. The Alex Sorber. Dieter buys everything at least once. Altmetall answered just to tease Rob. And PM Ferreira says, no wonder Rob can't get his copy, as we find out. He did finally get his copy of Highlander, even if he had to put out a little bit more money. Tim Hens, $2 means Schnäppchen, yeah. A movie for $2 would actually be definitely a Schnäppchen. Eucalyptus, Schnäppchen is not real. It's just an excuse Dietz came up with so he can buy trash. Well, Eucalyptus, since I almost buy stuff at release date, I'm not really the Schnäppchen hunter you all think I am. You know, I should be a Schnäppchen hunter, but unfortunately, I'm not. Andy Backlin, one of my Instagram contacts. Andy Backlin, Stairwell Sessions, That Dog Soldiers 4K is a worthy third. Dieter loved it. So he loved my third place from the best of 2023. Thank you, Andy, for that. Altmetall, watched Fort Fairlane on Blue on a few months ago. It doesn't need a 4K release. Altmetall, I was thinking one of my neighbor counties would have my back. And now you're putting the knife in my back. You get a strike.
First of all, we need the Rennie Harlan director's cut of we need the director's cut of Fort Fairlane.
That I want to see. And the Alex Sorber said, Fort Fairlane, I saw at cinema, I'm good. Alex, you're putting you down for a strike too. Unbelievable, those people in the live chat. Herman Carter, I hope they get back to making 3D movies. I desperately need a new 3D TV. It's acting up. That is my hope that mine will still hold up some years. I was hoping Avatar 2 spark companies to make new 4K 3D TV or something. Okay, unfortunately, probably not. Technical question, Rob, from Brian Knight. Robert, I've been trying for the last 2 weeks to post an email on your Post-Singularity webpage, and it simply times out without connecting, even when I try to go to your Contact Us page. Is there any problems?
I don't know. There might be. I'll talk to Mike about that. We've still been getting letters, so I don't know what's going on with that. I'll have to check that out.
What the problem was, especially if we are waiting your letters for the people who want to win Rob's box set for the Sony.
By the way, I got to give a shout out again to everybody in the live chat, led by Irene Jobson. Tom Jr. Jackson says, well, peggers can't be choosers, Rob. Boy, Pedro, you guys are doing me proud. Really. Everybody go to Vinegar Syndrome and order the Beast in Space. You know you want to. Do it right now. 200 Watt Studio says, I just ordered the Beast in Space. Let's go.
Let's go. The Alex Sorber, modern Star Trek, you mentioned it, Rob, doesn't need 4K or any release ever. Okay.
Well, I think it's. I'll tell you something. I think it's kind of shitty that they're not making modern Star Trek in 4K. They're finishing in 2K. I understand they got to keep the budgets down. Even rendering the effects.
The series itself, it's not shot on 4K, Rob.
They're mastering it. They're finishing it in 2K. That's why there's no 4K release, even Picard season 3, because the effects on it. They're trying to save money. I mean, visual effects rendered. It's 6 times those. What is it? 6 times more in 4K than it is in 2K. The render times would a lot more money. So, but it's kind of lame that I guess they're keeping it consistent.
But let's leave the quality of the shows aside. But for me, the shows looked fantastic, Rob. Even Picard season 2, also.
They look fantastic, but they're not in 4K.
Okay,
they're in 2K.
Okay.
So
Hitchhiker. Hitchhiker 42. What sold Ghostwatch was the presenters are real BBC presenters, not actors. He informs us with the Ghostwatch which Rob ordered too.
Yeah.
And Rob, perhaps you remember my saying every blind chicken sometimes finds a crane. One of the German saying.
I remember that.
But now, Rob, Charlie the Unicorn turned and twist my saying into the following. Even a trash panda finds fresh bamboo once in a while.
Wow. You know what? Even a trash panda finds fresh bamboo once in a while. Amen. I like that.
God damn it, Charlie.
To be honest, Dieter, I mean, when we first started broadcasting, doing the show together, you would teach us a German phrase. Do you remember that? Yeah. It was a big deal, big part of the show.
Exactly. So this was really great, Charlie.
By the way, we just got
I will keep that.
We got a super chat from Isaac Cushman, and he's new to the show. Isaac Cushman says, "What did you think of the almost famous 4K release? I thought it was quite a deal to get both the theatrical and the extended cuts, or the untitled version. New to the show and loving it. Keep it up." Well, Isaac, as people know, I think Almost Famous might be in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. And I first bought my first Blu-ray of Almost Famous. It had not been released in the States yet. I bought it in Bulgaria. Crazy enough, I bought it in Bulgaria when I was producing Hills Run Red back in 2008. And that was the first time that I had the untitled version. It took years to get that version released domestically. I love that 4K. I have the Steelbook and the regular release. I don't know why I bought them both.
The Digipack.
Yeah, I love that. I love the movie so much. I don't even watch the theatrical. I much prefer the director's cut, which I think is like 25 minutes longer. Or pardon me, the bootleg cut, the untitled cut.
Yeah.
I think it's much better. And it was great. It's great to have both of them. I never watch the theatrical version. Yeah. But it was
how can you say that, Rob? Considering the bad Canadian kid, only the theatrical counts, Rob.
He doesn't. It's so weird to me that he doesn't. I don't get it, man. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Eucalyptus asks if I'm a member of the American, if I'm in the guild, the American Cinema Editors, ACE. I am not. I've never even applied. Here's my rationale. I probably could be I should be in the Producers Guild, but I'm not in the Editors Guild because I do so much non-union independent editing. I could never, as a union editor, like Tango Shalom, I could never have taken that job. I've never been on, if I was able to transition as an editor, if I'd specialized in it more, but I maybe I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, but I just haven't crossed over because then that's really all I could do. And I edit all the time. Like I edit the Designing Hollywood podcast. I do so much other editing and I feel bad. I mean, I'd love to have Robert Meyer Burnett ACE after my editorial credits, but I haven't made it my only avocation. So I'm not a member of Eucalyptus, but it's
how would you do that, Rob, to get in?
Well, I think you'd have to show films that you've edited.
Okay.
And really only in terms of features, the only feature that I've edited over the last couple of years was Tango Shalom, and then I did 24 episodes of Dota Dragon's Blood. Yeah. And I don't know. Again, if you're a union editor, you have to follow union rules. So that's why. That's an excuse, but I do want to get into the Producers Guild. So, yeah. And by the way, nice. Sir Kansos says, "Greetings from Greece, Rob. Just can't wait for True Lies on 4K. Neither can we. But Dieter, back to you.
Yeah. But Rob, this one is perhaps addressed to you. You showed the tune set from Koch Films, was your favorite release of last year.
Yeah. How many people did you buy that for?
Tim Hens is worried, Rob. Jeez, how much did that tune box set Rob back? Rob, how much did that tune set you back?
Zero. Now here's
Thank you.
Here's the great thing. How much did 5 Dune box sets set you back?
Rob, shh.
Dieter, I'm sorry. I have to apologize. I mean, Dieter was very generous. and half of
Have
America.
you at least given Darren his set?
Oh yeah, no, I gave Darren his.
Nice.
No, he got his right.
And I still have to send you your screws for the
right for the yes. No, Darren got his. I took it. Actually, I didn't go to the after party, but I brought it with me when they screened Star Trek: The Motion Picture. The box set you sent to Darren has actually been on the Paramount lot. The Paramount lot. So yeah, there you go.
And it is sold out. And Tim Hens did go on. Sorry, Deeds, but 3D is a gimmick. Have no interest. Come on, Tim. Come on. Tommy Ricknell. God, I hope that high frame rate doesn't become standard. Took me out of the movie big time watching Avatar 2. Rob, did you have time to watch Avatar again in a Dolby Digital?
I did.
Tell me about it, Rob. Tell me about it.
Okay, I thought...
Was it more distracting than the IMAX? Just to know that.
No. I think I actually preferred it in the Dolby Cinema. It was brighter.
Okay.
So the 3D was more prominent. I don't mind the frame rate. I find it... The intercutting between 24...
No, exactly that, Rob.
But it didn't...
Didn't bother you?
No, it didn't bother me like I thought it would.
Okay.
Maybe because I was already used to it. But the presentation, it looked incredible in a Dolby Cinema. I saw that with my friend Dave Hargrove at the AMC 16. But I drank too much. We drank for hours before we went and saw it. So I kind of fell asleep. But what can I say? But it was still, it was great.
Okay.
Really, really good.
So for you, luckily, no problems with the changing frame rate.
No.
Tim Hens, no matter of gimmicky like HFR, 3D, etc., doesn't matter. Doesn't make a movie better. If it ends up being mediocre, it's all about character and story. Our moderator, Tom Jr. Jackson. I watched Wings of Desire on HBO Max, and so was Arn at the same time, and we were texting each other commentary while watching it. That is a great film. Is that how you watch movies, Tom? Texting while you're watching movies.
What?
Hopefully you did know it.
You have to let Wings of Desire roll over you. You have to let it envelop you. You have to be in that moment. God damn it. Yeah. By the way, that disc is unreal. Unreal compared to anybody, even just be it with the Criterion transfer. It's not Criterion's fault, but oh my God, that restoration is great. I'm gonna have to buy that vendor's box set.
Watch the HBO Max version, Rob?
No, I didn't know it was on HBO Max. It's probably the restored version. I hope it is.
Okay. Tommy Ricknell. If I want to get into 80s action, Hong Kong action, which movies should start with? Looking at that Dragons Forever 4K from 88 films. Well, Tommy, that is a great starting point, but from my perspective, you can probably not go wrong with any title. Of course, there are better ones and weaker ones, but you always get your feeling considering the action. So probably you can't go wrong with any of those titles. Victor Fontaine, left my ass off. Dieter doing some Funko Pop shaming. Yeah, what else can I do? Considering Funko Pops. Come on. Tim Hens, very sure Dietz has enough euros stashed in offshore tax havens to feed the world's hungry. You haven't seen my bank account, Tim Hens. Let me tell you that.
It's been decimated by buying people Dune sets.
Exactly. Because I haven't read, the contract. You only get what you negotiate,
That's right.
Get me some stuff, you douche.
That's right.
Off. You will never work in Hollywood.
And you were never a crypto bro, so you didn't suffer losses, in crypto market.
And the last one, Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington, Dietz and Rob, the best duo online for us boomers and retro collectors to feel young again. This was the last one.
Wait a minute.
The live chat.
Wait a minute. I'm going to object to that comment.
Okay.
Boomers feeling young again. Well, let me just say, action figures, books, CDs, music. When have you ever felt old, Dieter? Do you feel old?
Only in the morning. But
Hey,
considering
man,
the stuff, no.
as
Still
long as
tried, you know?
as long as I don't have to get up in the middle of the night to pee, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly, Rob.
I'm like, hey, man, everything works. All the plumbing is good. That's all I care about. You know, and I'm sure that's all Irene Jobson cares about as well. So, shout out to you, Irene. Yes. So no, we don't. I think oh, go ahead.
And as long as Rob doesn't say, I don't want to be your friends anymore, you know, I don't want to talk that drivel, that German drivel with you again. I have better things to do. Benches of Inner Sheeran.
No, I would never
great.
say that. I think to be honest, Dieter, one of the great joys of the pandemic era was meeting you and getting to know you and doing this show. I mean, like I didn't know you, you know, and you got me a disc, and I'm like, hey, let's. I don't even remember. Did I think I said to you, let's do a show or something?
Yeah, at some point you said, let's do it, and we tried it first. I said, my English is not the best, Rob. Let's record it first and then see. And probably you did it as a safe space, you know. Well, let's see how this guy is up to. If he spouts out, you know, a little bit crazy stuff, you know.
Even better.
Let me just record. Let me just record the first episodes, you know, to be on the safe side.
But I think but to me, I mean, you know, we've developed a friendship, and we've been doing this now. We've known each other over 2 years doing this show. Yeah. I think one of the great things about you know, about social media is when, you know, meeting you and doing the show. Exactly. I mean, one, you're hilarious, and I didn't tell you to say things like "rock you like a hurricane" or doing the live chat. This show has sort of evolved. Yeah, you know, evolved organically, and it's become a highlight of my week. So, you know, going into 2023, I think we started this show in, was it 2021 or 2020?
In November, I think November 2020, but I could be
no,
wrong.
But I mean, think about that. It's now November 2020, 2021, 2022. It's now 2023, and we're still doing the show.
Actually, we are in season 3, Rob. Now, you know,
season three of, and you know what's great is when Elizabeth's like, you know, the mortgage is due. What are we gonna? You can't buy physical media. I'm like, I have to buy physical media. I have a show to do on Sunday. Like, I mean, it's embarrassing when Dieter has a stack of discs from Korea.
If I don't have any Danny Kaye movies to show for.
Oh man, oh god, that was Danny Kaye. Look, The Court Jester is now in my collection. Thank God. White Christmas, man. I'm telling you, boy. Irene Jobson, wow, she's on fire today. That Irene. I never thought this show would get me hot, but Irene, I'm telling you.
Is it Emma in disguise?
I don't know. Irene says she has a husband. I'll tell you that husband's gonna like benefit. I never thought anybody would get randy watching this show, but the beast in space brings out the beast in all of us. So all of you go to, you know, Vinegar Syndrome. They do the Lord's work. By the way, speaking of Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah.
So last night, after I finished Midnight Musings, it was like 2 a.m. I come to bed and I see, I kid you not, Body Melt, which Vinegar Syndrome, Body Melt, the movie that might have ended my relationship with Elizabeth. They put out a beautiful copy of Body Melt with a die-cut sleeve. Body Melt has a director's cut. And dude, I kid you not. I go to my Apple Fire Stick. I hit, you know, I come to bed. I'm like, click. Body Melt director's cut pops up. And of course, for those of you who don't understand, Body Melt is an Ozploitation movie that's pretty hilarious. You know, it's more, it's closer to Peter Jackson's Brain Dead than anything else.
Exactly.
Vinegar Syndrome. I'd never seen Body Melt. I always wanted to see it. I bought a DVD. It was a horrible VHS rip on the DVD. Yeah, terrible. And it was one of the first movies I brought over to Elizabeth's house when we first started dating. I'm like, "Yo, baby, can we watch this movie Body Melt?" I don't know.
So you skipped 2 or 3 dates, Rob, to see already where you are at with Elizabeth.
Yeah, it was not. I mean, when we first started dating, I'd take stacks of movies and show them to her, you know, and that was kind of she never lets me forget it. So when Vinegar Syndrome put Body Melt out, it was kind of serendipitous. I'm like, oh my God, it's Body Melt. This is amazing. So I bought the Vinegar Syndrome disc is great. But now there's a Body Melt director's cut.
I have to look that up, Rob.
I'm like, Vinegar. What? And I saw this last night. I didn't even know this existed. Now I'm obsessed. Does this mean that Vinegar Syndrome is going to double dip their own Body Melt release? Ooh. What is the difference? Do I have to watch it? Somebody please, all of you out there watching this now, we must do the research. We have to find out Body Melt, the director's cut. Where did it come from? When did it come from? We need to know. Irene Jobson is going to be busy with her husband, so she can't find out. So the rest of you need to tell me, where did Body Melt, the director's cut, come from? Where did it come from?
Exactly. Yeah.
So only on this show,
we cover a wide variety of movies.
It is true. Yeah. Irene Jobson has sent in a super chat, and she says, nice, thanks for making my day. Irene, I think what we've really done is made your husband's day. Between the rimming and the milking and all kinds of things, all I can say is your husband, he doesn't know what's going to hit him. But remember to tell him it was all because of Let's Get Physical Media. He's a lucky man this Sunday. I want you to go sin with your husband. And then go to Vinegar Syndrome and pre-order The Beast in Space. Because why not?
Nice.
200 Watt Studios sends in a super chat and says, okay. Do you have an OLED? I do. I have one with some black and white films. There's a distracting snowiness like a sandstorm. Do you have this issue? I'm not talking about grain, which I like. Yeah. Not really.
I don't know how he describes it. Would have to see it.
Yeah, I have to. Can you do a frame grab or something? I mean, not right now, but I'd have to see it. I haven't noticed that. I mean, to be honest, I watched Outer Limits. I've watched Casablanca. I watched Rumblefish. I have not watched a lot of black and white stuff on disc on the. Yeah. But that's interesting. Now I know what to look for. I will look for I haven't noticed it. Really? Double Indemnity?
It would be nice to know what kind of TV he uses, what company.
LG makes all the OLED panels.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure.
Strange.
Tom Jr. Jackson says he sent me. He says, The Thing I am sending you, Rob, should be there between January 24th and February 2nd. You'll know it's from me. Trust me. Well, Tom, when you say The Thing, is it like a disembodied hand? And am I going to dance like Susie Sue? What am I going to do? I don't know.
The Alex Sorba says...
But thank you for that. Thank you in advance for what it is.
The Alex Sorba says, black and white looks better on my OLED than my LED or QLED.
Yeah, I mean, for me too. I haven't noticed that. Irene says, my husband is off work tomorrow. Maybe I'll ... Wait. Maybe? 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 These are the times when Yoda's voice goes, do or do not.
If Irene is new here on the show, Rob, you always say it's always yes.
Yes. I mean, when we're talking about buying action figures for things, it's always yes. The answer is always yes. No maybe. By the way, blow your husband's mind. But make him take a shower first. So, just saying, if you're just maybe. John Campia says just maybe. But yes, we shall see. By the way, I have to say one more thing. Somebody said to me, and I forget who said to me, if you are fans of the 1980s the great Berry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
Yeah, I am, Rob. Okay.
Somebody said to me that we might be getting a 4K release.
That would be awesome, Rob.
It would be awesome. Show enough.
But you don't remember who?
It was somebody on Twitter. They wouldn't confirm or deny, but they're a big Last Dragon fan. Maybe they're part of the fan network.
Okay.
Who knows? I'm not sure.
Nice.
But they did say that we are going to be happy in 2023 if you're Last Dragon fans. I cannot confirm nor deny this. I don't know anything about it. But somebody who seemed like they were in the know said, maybe, just maybe, we might get The Last Dragon in 4K. Who knows? Because I don't.
Nice point to take the show home. Don't forget, people, write in letters to Rob what you like about physical media. Perhaps
here it is.
If you want to get the
$300 30th anniversary of Sony Pictures Classics with there's a lot of discs in here, HDR, Dolby Vision, whatever. Everything from Run Lola Run to Volve, to Schenectady, New York, to Orlando, to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in a very cool box. One of Jeff from Films at Home's releases of the year. We have one to give away. And we're going to give it away on our 100th show, but you have to write us letters. And you have to tell us, why do you love physical media? And if you make us cry, or you make Irene Jobson hot, you could win this box set.
What was the topic line again, Rob, that they should use?
It should be, you know what? What'd I say?
Giveaway?
Physical media giveaway.
Okay.
Or why physical media? Either one, something like that. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And Mr. 47, do not send me your scripts. Do not do that.
And then we will decide who gets the package on the 100.
And just know that we reserve the right to read any of your letters, even the runners up. Maybe we'll give away. You know, I've got a whole box of discs that I've replaced. I got a whole box of discs. Maybe I'll just send people Blu-ray cast-offs from movies I replaced from Rob's collection. Here you go.
Yeah. Oh, here you go.
But
okay, Rob. Yeah. So from my end, I think we're through for today.
Irene says she's writing you a letter for my sister. Do you have a sister? All right.
Ooh, yeah.
Older, younger? She like you? So is it time to go? Is that it?
Yeah, I would say we are through with everything from my end, Rob.
Well, Dieter, it was a fantastic show. It's great to see you in 2023. Hopefully this year, you know, our AI overlords are coming for all of us. Hopefully there'll be peace on earth and goodwill to men. But until then, we're still going to buy physical media, especially The Beast in Space from Vinegar Syndrome. Buy that Italian box set from Severin.
On the top most wanted list.
And let's hear it for Kino Lorber's output of getting Death Wish in 4K. But you know what, Kino Lorber? Don't think I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire about To Live and Die in L.A. You promised us that over a year ago. I got Paul Newman in Nobody's Fool, but I don't have William Peterson and Willem Dafoe in To Live and Die in L.A. Make me happy this year.
At least you get Stone Cold, Rob. At least.
We got to do, you know what we got to do? Here's the thing. I'm going to try and figure out a way to get Craig Baxley, director Craig Baxley, and Brian Bosworth on. And we have to do a show, an extra show. Not, it won't replace this show, but an extra show just about Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
Come on, we did that with great. Blood In, Blood Out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not even on Blu-ray or 4K.
No. Just DVD.
I got the DVD. I want to replace that DVD. Yeah. God damn it, Disney. Or as you would say, God damn it. Say it. There you go. All right.
So, from my end, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet, including Irene Jobson, has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. And all you have to do is listen. And with that, I want to thank our moderators, Lord Toth. I want to thank Tom Jr. Jackson. I want to thank all of you imagination connoisseurs who support this channel via tips, super chats, memberships, whatever. We had a great member chat yesterday. It was some new people. We do member chats every other week. They last hours. They're a lot of fun, so thank you for that. I want to thank dear Bastian, my co-host, and we will see you. There's not a lot of physical media to be buying, but come on, don't you just want to hang out with us? We'll be back next Sunday with a second episode of 2023.
And 200 Watt Studio sends in the last super chat. Break your promise, Kino Lorber.
Why? Why would you want to hurt me? Why do people want to hurt me all the time? Why you got to do this?
At least he gives you the commentaries, Rob.
That's true. I'll get the commentaries. So, all right, 200 Watt Studio. All right. And we're out.